happy Wednesday. How's it going?
Hello.
Is it
laughing at a
Wednesday
joke he told himself.
already?
This week is just flying by.
It's not flying by fast enough as far as I'm concerned. But yes, let's carry on. How is everyone? How's everyone
Good.
doing?
Carry on.
Man, great. Having a great time. How are you, Mike?
Good. There's a lot of people saying rebound pirate in the chat, so I assume that's an Ellen thing. Ellen's been streaming Black
Sounds
Flag.
like something she'd say. Yeah.
Sounds definitely
One
like
of
something
Ellen's
she'd say.
wacky catchphrases.
One of Ellen's new BFs is a rebound pirate.
It's a rebound pirate. You need a rebound pirate. After your main.
When you're dumped by your main
Who's this
pirate
then?
BF. Oh, it's Luke.
Looming over us like some kind of sky god.
Oh my god.
Oh
It
god,
I'm
sounds
operating like a hand puppet.
Westaway.
I was wondering when you would get round to introducing me. I thought I'll let them have their fun. I thought I'll let them chat.
introduced.
I thought I would
Come on,
let them.
Luke.
I thought I would let them small talk because
Just
Yeah.
having a good time. Come on, play with me in the space, Luke.
overwhelmingly, the majority of this stream is going to be a brutal,
Oh, no.
upsetting, friendship-shattering
Oh
challenge.
dear, I'd better open a drink then.
I think you better had, Mike.
Rip it and rip
I
it.
recommend everyone start drinking at home and on the stream.
Do we all have to open the
As long
drink
as it's
directly
legal
next to the
in your-
microphone? Is that
Yes.
recommended?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
It's
I've got the
ASMR,
world's fanciest
right?
goblet.
That's not ASMR, Mike.
Is it the opposite of
Probably the
ASMR?
opposite of ASMR. ASMR.
Not for me. The delicious
All right.
crisp sound of a can opening.
So, Luke, this sounds pretty serious and harrowing. I thought it was going to be a light-hearted bit of premium internet content that everyone could enjoy and have a good time with.
I'm afraid you've been misled, Andy. Those facts are not up to date. It is going to be harrowing, I'm afraid. When Andy came to me and he said, Luke, I want you
I
to
want
run.
to ruin friendships.
I
I want you to
yeah.
ruin the friendship test. I said run the friendship test.
Andy
There was no I in
pointed-
there.
Andy pointed to a calendar and he said, 8 long years we've been running this channel, Luke. It ends this week. I need you to come up with a friendship test so devious, so cruel, that it will definitely collapse the channel in on itself. And I said, Andy, you got yourself a quiz, my friend.
Or there's a very, very slim sliver of chance that we'll come out stronger on the other
Yeah.
side.
What
Seems
about that,
like-
Luke? What if
I've-
we've came out stronger and thwarted you?
I'm afraid I've run the numbers and it can't. That
Statistically impossible.
the outcome is there's a 1,000,000 to 1 chance.
Like
You
Mr.
might Kobayashi
Strange,
Maru
like
it.
Doctor Strange off the Avengers.
So you're saying there's
I've
a
run every
chance?
simulation through every possible universe, and in no
Yep.
universe do you come
And-
out stronger.
And in 2 hours we're not friends. I don't know what to tell you. No, of course we'll have a lovely time. So what I have here are a series of questions that Andy, Mike, and Jane have answered. They have sent me their answers. I will go through question by question. I think we'll start with Mike, just for funsies. I will
Okay.
read the question that Mike was asked, and it will be up to Jane and Andy to correctly guess what Mike said.
Okay, we can do
Thereby-
this.
It's a word for word, I'm assuming. It has
If
to
it's
be
not
to get-
word for word, no points will be allowed. And let me say, most of you replied with full paragraphs to all of these questions. So,
Wait,
Wow.
are we competing against each other for points? Because that's the only way I know how to play.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
why it's going to ruin friendships, because there's going to be a winner
Okay,
and a
good.
loser.
Well,
at
fabulous.
the end of this, one of you will know that you are a better
best
friend
friend.
to the others
Okay.
than they are to you.
Brilliant.
And what you do with that information is up to you.
The
But I-
seed will be sown. The seed of
Yes.
discord.
You can, then you can judge your birthday presents accordingly. Be like, well,
Exactly.
they're not as good a
Exactly.
friend to me as I am to them, so I don't have to spend as much this year.
Every single thing that happens will be viewed through that lens
Okay.
from this day forward. So
Just checking in with the chat. TYC I believe off of Mike's can opening says "Arrgh."
So next to the mic.
Lord 209 says ASMR is when you pour the drink into a glass, not when you open the can. That's where it's like the gentle sound of
I
a
see.
drink pouring into
What
a
it
glass.
sounds- for the-
ASM ARG.
It stands for the angry sound of Mike's ring pull.
big-
My angry ring pull out
Alberto
of
T
it.
says, "Good afternoon, guys. You guys are ridiculously good looking today. Luke loving the
Aw,
hair."
thanks.
So I think
Thanks.
specifically, Luke is looking excellent this day. Yes.
don't
Always.
thank me, thank quarantine.
Well, you're very lucky if that's how your hair grows out into like boy band curtains. It's kind of it's a good look.
Well, it takes a little. You know what?
Are you
we won't get
blushing,
into the whole
Luke? I
routine.
think you're blushing a little bit.
No.
This is me
warm
buttering
in
Luke
here.
up for additional points.
Hey, yeah, she's buttering him up.
Oh
Get
no! Oh,
Yeah.
it started.
You can
The
butter
mind
up to a
games.
maximum of 4 points, and then the buttering stops.
Woo! Angel Beat says a belated super chat for Luke's swear jar. Did Luke swear? When did Luke swear? Is
Oh, for
Luke
goodness
swearing?
sake! Now this
Luke.
is when I said an unfortunate slip of the tongue
Oh,
on the Ox
that.
Venture.
Oh, that was
That's
a whole
not a swear.
3 days ago, 4 days ago.
Can't we
What
move
was the
on?
word? What did it begin with? I missed it.
You were
entirely.
there, Mike.
You were
in-
there.
I can't remember anything that happens in an Ox Venture.
It was. It derailed the entire thing for like 5 minutes.
It began.
Oh,
we-
yes.
We had to pay a huge fine.
I do
to
remember
the,
Yeah,
actually,
to the
what-
FCC.
FCC.
Yeah. Do
you remember?
Do you know-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Viewers,
Luke
your
said,
checks are
"I
all
know
in
what
the
to
post."
do with an enemy with a big mouth," and then
Yeah,
he
and then
went
said
on
to
one of
the
his.
Now, hang on.
He went
That's-
on one of his
You're-
usual foul
That
mouth
is a
tirades.
misrepresentation, sir,
went on a-
of the
went
facts,
on a
sir.
He went on a 5-minute bleeped out.
Trademark.
Good job we had
Tirade.
John on the live bleeping, you know, with the
Yeah.
live censorship button.
John is a demon with that live bleeping.
In better news, Daniel Delgado says, wanted to tell you guys that my little baby Aurora was born, and after 3 weeks in the hospital, she is finally home to enjoy your videos too.
Oh,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
That's good.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's good.
I'm glad she's back.
Also, Aurora is just a lovely name.
What a beautiful name, yeah.
Yeah. With babies, that's the goal. You want them to be born. So good job, Aurora. Good job. Getting
At the
born.
very least.
That's a good start.
Nicholas Peloso says, my heart is in pieces. Only friendship can help this. So we're playing not just for our own friendship.
Yeah,
but
I think it's
for
because
actual
Ellen was
heart.
doing some very sad parts of Assassin's Creed.
Right, right.
Yeah, before
fair
the
enough.
stream, Luke was like, I'll just pop over into the chat and let everyone know that we're going to be doing a fun friendship test. And it's just
Oh
Ellen
my
crying.
Oh, God.
Just rolling down her face.
Don't worry, folks. The fun will continue over on Outside Xbox.
The laughter keeps going.
And the
Here's
laughs
link.
just never stop.
The fun never starts here on Outside X.
The harrowing horror.
Can we get that on a t-shirt? The fun
Yeah,
never
the
starts.
fun never
Fun never
starts.
starts on
I don't
Outside
see
Xbox.
why not. Right,
Okay.
okay, so you guys want to have your friendships tested or what?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do it.
Test
Yeah,
them.
that's why I'm here.
Enough
Test.
shilly-shallying.
Test
Yes,
them
please.
and temper them in the
Oh, Luke.
fires of
In the crucible
crucible.
of the Outside
yes,
Xbox
of
Friendship
questions.
Challenge. Yeah.
Andy and Jane.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mike was asked the following question. What was his reply?
Wait, were we all asked the same questions, or were we all
No,
asked
different.
Everyone was asked different questions.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Carry on.
Mike was asked, if you had to live in another time period, what would you choose?
Ooh, great question. All right,
It's-
Jane, we
it's
can
like-
do a bit of groupthink on this before we decide on our answers. We don't have to give the same answers.
What if
but I
I
think we
already
can...
know the answer and I don't?
Well, if
wanna
you already
give
know the
any
answer, go
hints?
for it. Tell me what you think, and then
Yeah,
I'll
no,
do
I
something
don't.
different.
I don't already know the answer.
You know what
Um,
my initial thought is? My first
What?
thought
Okay.
is that Mike wants to live in the Roaring Twenties as a Jay Gatsby style bon vivant, a flaneur of the old school. Yeah, I imagine him he's wearing his tuxedo and he's racing one of those old cars that looks like
When have you ever
a sort
seen
of
me in a
cigar with
tuxedo?
wheels on it. Once, I think. No, you're right. All right, but yeah, like a 1920s bon vivant, and you're
I mean,
like,
we can write off any time before the invention of the motor vehicle.
Yes,
it really
exactly.
helps us out.
Good.
Mike
Yeah,
doesn't
unless
want
he
to
wants
live
to
in any
invent it.
time.
What, and go down in history as the person who invented the
as
motor car?
the inventor of the car. They'd be called channels now.
Yeah,
Oh my god, yeah.
the Channel T type.
Alright, can I
Or-
change my answer, Luke? Let me get up there. Come on.
Okay, so
no,
if Mike says change his answer, that means he didn't want to invent the motor car. I think we can metagame that a little bit.
I was
Sorry.
I was going to say, or maybe during like the '90s heyday of Formula One, where he could be like a sort of Nigel Mansell or a Graham Damon Hill.
I mean, I was
But then
alive during
Mike
that
was
time.
alive during. I was going to say
I was
Mike
just
was
very
alive
young.
during that. Yeah, but he couldn't be like a baby Formula One driver. That's not allowed, is it? Or is it?
I don't
I
know.
think back then anything
You've
went
got a-
actually. You,
So you've got to be safe seat, you're strapped in, ISOFIX.
And then
what
we're
they
like
don't know
a
is that-
booster seat for
Yeah.
the baby, so it's up high
Yeah.
enough and it can see over the bonnet of the.
It's actually a
F1 car.
well-kept secret that Nigel Mansell was only 4.
Was a giant baby. That's why they had the moustache. It was a fake moustache. Yeah, to throw people off the scent.
Okay, so is that your answer, Andy?
No, because he was alive during that period. I don't see Mike getting on with any kind of historical period. I think
Oh,
it
well,
would annoy-
maybe you're allowed to say the future. And Mike said, I want to go to the space future,
Ooh, that's
where Mass
great.
Effect is real. Inevitably, Mass Effect becomes real. And I
Repeat the question, Luke. Is there wiggle room for the future
word
there?
for word.
If you
With your
had to live in
legalese.
another time period, what would you choose?
Yeah, so that leaves the door open for the future,
For the
doesn't
future. Yeah, potentially the future. It's not the most intuitive answer, because it does imply an existing time
To be fair, I'm not the most intuitive person.
He might be giving himself away there. He might
Or maybe.
have said,
Or maybe I'm trying to throw you off for extra points. Who knows?
oh, that's true.
It's true, Mike does better the
You
worse
can
you do.
sabotage us, yeah. If you throw us
Yeah.
off the scent, then you get more points, and then you win at this
He's a success
dreadful
vampire.
friendship
Yeah.
challenge.
Success.
I've often said that. Draining my success. All right, fine.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with aristocrat race car driver in the 1920s.
And Jane?
okay. I want to say. I want to say
Quickly now, because
slightly
Andy's,
later. Okay.
Andy's put his cards on the table.
That's true, which does give me an advantage. I want to say, like, sort of vintage. I wanted to say vintage era Formula One, but it would be later than the 20s, I think. It would be sort of like. I'm thinking of. Or am I thinking of the 20s?
Am I thinking of the 30s?
You're thinking of the 30s, I think.
All right, I'm thinking of the
Mike.
30s.
It turns out neither of us know anything about the history of Formula One.
Yeah.
Well, let
I
me
think-
tell you guys.
No,
Set
no,
aside
No,
an hour.
no! Quick! Someone
I'm
do
thinking
something.
A vintage Formula One, like, tourism posters for Monaco, where it's like
Oh, yes.
full Art Deco.
That's
not-
That's 60s.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Like
That's
50s and
what-
60s. Yeah.
I'm thinking of like golden age, 50s, 60s Formula
The
One.
post-war
Jane's going
period.
50s,
Whereas Andy's
60s.
going for the pre-war period, which
Yeah.
is a very
That's
distinct
correct.
period of motor racing.
So
It's
Andy,
entirely
30s, Jane, 50s
60s,
slash 60s.
60s, yeah.
I'm going to allow you to say both decades.
Uh-huh.
And the reason I'm going to allow that
Because-
is because you're both
Yeah.
miles off.
No!
Man.
You came achingly close to being good friends, but in the end, absolutely fluffed it. Mike said,
Hated
obviously
enemies.
in the far off future.
No!
Oh!
Mike went
no!
on to say, Mike, do you want to read your answer here, or do you want me to read
No,
it?
you can read it. You could. I'd like to hear my words coming out of your mouth. I think it'd be pretty funny.
That's the dream. Mike said, I'm a massive nerd, so I want to see what kind of bonkers technology they will have in the future, assuming we haven't obliterated the planet already.
It's not even going to be an Earth. It's going to
Yeah, that's your mistake, Mike. Because if
Yeah,
you jump
right,
to the
it's
future
gonna-
and there's nothing there, you're just stuck in the vacuum of space.
Yeah, but
How are you
Mike,
going to ride a
Mike's
car
not
around
done.
when the sea level is high?
If you trusted me with like a 1960s Formula One car, I definitely would have killed myself. I would have like slammed it into a tree
That's
or something.
true.
You know.
And
could
like
have been
many
a bo-
bystanders.
A flaneur of the old school, Mike.
In the 60s Formula One, I imagine the safety measures were like drink a bottle of whiskey before you drive.
Pretty much, yeah.
Try
Yeah.
to go limp.
Roll
Mike
with
also
it. Roll
said,
with the impact.
why would you want to live in history? Everyone must have smelled really bad because they didn't invent personal hygiene until 1960. That's
true.
the end of
That's
his answer.
quite the
It's a true
claim.
fact.
I mean,
True fact.
I
You don't want to
know
live
if
in a
it is a true fact.
historical period. Everyone smelled bad, and the food was bad, and like.
Can't believe you would
Amazon
rather have
deliveries didn't
the
exist.
future, the uncertain future, instead of 1930s aristocrat race cars.
But I mean, maybe. I mean, those will still exist in the future, probably. I'll just,
Get on the holodeck.
get
Yeah.
on the holodeck
Yeah.
and drive.
Jump into
yeah.
the Matrix.
Yeah.
The good thing about going back to the past race cars is that I imagine it would be easier to win. You know, like when
Yes.
cars have only just been invented.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with the
Easy to
knowledge
be
I have
champion.
now.
If you knew
Yeah.
about aerodynamics,
Oh my god, yeah,
And,
just
stick
stick a
a
front wing
thing
on
on
it and beat everyone
yeah,
to bits.
you'd like walk out there to the pit, and then all the mechanics would be there, and you go, "All right, first things first. I think we should have a fourth wheel."
Yeah.
they'd
and they'd
be
be
like,
like,
"Whoa."
mind blown.
This guy's got some
First
fresh
things
new
first,
ideas.
fellas, it should go at 400 miles an hour.
Oh my God.
We didn't think of that.
This guy's got it all.
We would easily win.
Let's worship him
Okay.
as our god.
The next question was asked to Jane.
Oh, okay.
The question that I put to Jane was, if money were no object, what would you buy?
Oh.
Andy and Mike, what do you think Jane said? By the way, I'm just marking down that no one got any points.
Nil pois.
Wow.
I'm thinking space technology. I'm thinking maybe a spaceship or something. Like,
Really?
I mean, what's the most expensive thing you can buy? Probably a spaceship, right? Like
Yeah.
that or a private island. But even
But I
then,
mean,
a spaceship's
spaceships-
definitely.
What, like a personal SpaceX?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
what you're
exactly
thinking?
that. So yeah, just
To
be
go
able to,
into space.
anytime you like, pop on a rocket, fly up there, have a whiz around, do what astronauts do, and then come back down.
Yeah.
Holiday to the International Space Station.
I think
1
that's a
dozen
solid.
space eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pop out for the space eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a solid choice. Which is, I kind of wanted to go in that direction, but I can't now because I need to think of something else. So
Is money even an
You
object
don't have to think
anymore,
of something
though?
else.
Is it
Andy,
not
if
just
you-
all
if
in
you
the
wish to commit
machine?
yourself.
Money is no object, Jane.
What?
So just, buy a coffee or whatever.
What? I don't understand.
Well, it's
I
all
think
numbers
Mike's
in the
deconstructing
machine.
capitalism.
Yeah, I am, yeah. We don't own money anymore. It's not a physical thing, really.
Oh,
It's all just numbers in your bank
Oh.
account, man.
money is more like
That's
a
how they
concept.
control you.
you're playing
Yeah.
with the semantics of the question, where money
Yeah, I
is
am.
not an object; it is
Yeah.
a concept.
I think it's quite clear from Jane's response that she did not play with the semantics.
No, it
No.
did not occur to me that money is a fabrication and an illusion of the system.
Your interpretation was,
went
I will get as much money as I like. Which is a fair assumption that's what the
It was the
question
Sims
meant.
money cheat of real life.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Mike,
Yeah.
are you sticking with your answer, which was, to be clear, remind me?
A spaceship. Yeah,
A
it's either that or
spaceship,
property
okay.
property in London, but I think it's
Okay.
a spaceship probably.
Andy, what do you think?
That's the
yeah,
real
okay.
dream.
So it's sort of
And
an
you don't have to
extension
do
of
something different, I would add.
It's an extension of what Mike is saying. Instead of like a boring sort of regular
Now who's the success
space-
vampire?
Instead of a boring regular space thing, it would be a big Mass Effect themed space station in real space that you could go to and have a Mass Effect adventure in, because that's cooler than regular space. I would say. And it
Well,
would cost
they are
a lot. It
both.
would cost way more money.
They are both good answers. Oh no, wait. One of them is a good answer.
Oh.
And that good answer was Mike's. Mike, see, I'm going to go ahead and give you 2 points because
Wow.
let me read Jane's answer.
Yeah.
Jane wrote this. First thought, buy up all the expensive empty housing in London that's doing nothing but sitting there being an investment for someone who doesn't live there and use it to home actual people.
Wow.
Second thought, that's not in the spirit of the question and I'm probably not supposed to buy multiple things, just one extravagant thing. Third thought, spaceship.
Nailed
So-
it. Absolutely
Yeah.
nailed it.
On both
So the-
counts.
Well, I mean,
Yep.
I was going to say spaceship, but then Mike got in there first. He said it first.
You
Well,
could
that's what you
also
So I'll just say
have
the
said-
obvious thing first next time, as
also-
quickly as possible. Everyone just say the obvious thing as quickly as possible.
Yes, yes.
Luke's enjoying the friendship ruining that is already happening.
Cracks already appearing in the facade of this friendship.
Okay, wow, Mike. Top friending. I think you absolutely nailed
Thank
that
you.
one. Okay, next up is a question that was leveled at Andy. I put it to Andy. If you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question for Andy. Andy's a real foodie.
He is.
I bet this was a tough question for Andy, I anticipate.
Yes.
Oh, I know what the answer is though, and it is fresh tuna sashimi or some kind of sashimi, possibly salmon. But I'm leaning more towards tuna, like freshly caught in a Tokyo fish market or something like that,
In a cool
Okay.
way.
in a cool way.
Yeah, the coolest possible way.
No, cool
alright.
way.
You sound very, very confident.
I'm reasonably confident, but also, Andy's a foodie, so his taste may have moved on since he last expounded on the
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
eating
moved
sashimi.
into
Palate may have
fried
developed somewhat.
Yeah.
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 I know he likes buffalo wings as well though. So what can you do?
It's true.
What can you do?
Fun fact,
And
I
barbecue.
learned,
He likes barbecue. Sorry, Luke. What are you
I
saying?
learned as an adult that buffalo wings don't come from buffalo.
Did you think that buffalo have little like prehensile?
Little tiny,
wings?
No,
vestigial wings.
I thought buffalo wings was a fun nickname for the muscle across the shoulders. I don't know.
Oh.
why.
The traps,
Yeah.
wings.
Trapezoids
If you
of a
like.
buffalo.
Do you remember this was
Wow.
it was in the showdown of the week that we did? At
Oh, yeah.
EGS. It came up live on
It is a
stage. It
good
came up.
fact.
I don't
So,
know, man. Some sort of. Why don't I just borrow Jane's answer and say buffalo wings? Let's go for it.
You can piggyback on that if you want. So wait, remind me what everyone is saying.
Jane was saying tuna sashimi.
I'm alarmed that may not be the right answer because now
Because
Luke's
buffalo
like,
wings, you're gonna
what
feel
did you
very
say? And if you thought that was the right answer, then you would already have
That's
it written
true.
down.
Yeah,
Jane,
but-
I'm playing three-dimensional chess with your emotions.
Okay.
You
As long
cannot
as it's
trust
in
or
three
mistrust
dimensions.
anything I say.
I said like sashimi, like some kind of sort of fancy sushi, maybe tuna or salmon sashimi.
And you're sticking with that?
Sashimi. Yes.
And Mike?
Right.
Yeah, buffalo wings, why not? I definitely prefer to eat buffalo wings to tuna sashimi, so let's go for that.
Well, I can tell you
Yeah.
right now
Yeah.
that one of you has reached inside Andy's mind and with the
Yes!
powers of friendship
It
taken
better not be
out
Mike after all.
his real answer.
No, I think Andy was nodding quite a lot when you said tuna sashimi, so I think his poker face is bad. So
Okay.
And the person who gets a point this round, it's Jane.
Yay!
Andy wrote, sushi. Obviously, I like a lot of food, but the food I really like is terrible for me. And if I'm choosing a food I have to eat for the rest of my life, I have a delicate balancing act of deliciousness versus healthiness that I have to consider. It's all very well saying cheeseburgers or pepperoni pizza.
Yeah,
but
it is
would
all very
severely
well saying
impact
that.
my health if that's all I ate. Sushi, on the other hand, is delicious and, crucially, can have vegetables in it as well as healthy fish, and it's all raw, so nothing is fried. Practical. As a caveat, Andy did write, or if it gives me all the nutrients I need to live and I won't get fat, then I don't know, hot dogs probably, I guess. But I think clearly sushi was his answer there. Well done, Jane.
Yeah, well done,
Yay!
Jane.
I think you get bored and eventually you just sort of stop eating.
Mike,
'Cause you
for
get bored of sushi.
shame.
You'd be like, oh,
Shame, Mike.
this again.
Also, you could have fried stuff because you could have tempura, like tempura asparagus or something.
Yeah,
and, like,
if
wrap
the,
it
Well,
up.
how open
if
are
the
we
mood
making
took
it?
me, it's the perfect food range.
Mike, I think you'll find.
Can
if
you just
get
say,
any-
like, I'll eat
Yes.
meat or something?
Mike, if
and
you
then,
take any food and wrap it in rice and then wrap that inside
It's sushi.
seaweed, it's
Yeah,
sushi.
it's sushi.
What about
So
buffalo?
it's literally
What
any
about
wrap
kind of-
buffalo
buffalo
chicken
wings.
wings? If I wrap that in seaweed, do I get a point?
Yes, yes, now you're getting it. The
Yes,
cheeseburger
Mike, it's-
sushi.
Fight about sushi. Thought that was
Alright.
spectacularly about sushi definition.
Now,
yes, yes.
now, Mike. Mike, answer me this. Is it possible to lower the volume of the background music?
Oh.
Yeah, I can do. Yeah, it's quite low already, but I can make it lower.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. It's happened. It's already happened.
Cool.
Like, about 7 decibels if you want to get into it.
Great.
If you want to get
Whoa.
really into it.
Okay. So, at the end of round 1,
Yes.
Jane has 1 point, Mike has 2 points, and Andy sadly has no points. But,
Way to give Mike an unassailable lead, Jane, with your vacillating.
wow.
That was not how I was
I
expecting
need
that
to
angry
call a
comment
halt
to
to the
go.
competition here because an accusation of vacillating has been made,
Yeah. That
and
was
I
an
have
attack
to investigate that.
on my good character.
I have to investigate that. All right, get all of these cars off of the start line, walk them back to the garage.
Yay.
Steward's
Nothing
inquiry.
goes ahead.
Call the scrutineers.
Yep. Get them in. Get them in.
Is that
Hang
what
on.
they're called? Scrutineers. Amazing.
I'm just-
That's my band name. I said it first.
The scrutineers. It's a really
The
good name for a band.
Scrutineers.
Yeah.
The scrutineers have consulted the VAR, and I'm just getting there. Yep. Yep.
Got the TMO on the line.
They're saying the friendship has ended.
Please. Wait, I can't believe what I'm hearing. Please repeat that. It's just that never in all my years. They're saying there was no vacillating, and we can move on.
Oh, just
Fair
as well.
Okay.
It's outrageous.
All right. This question was leveled at you know him. He's Mike.
Oh god, it's me again. Okay.
That was a really basic intro, wasn't it? You know him.
You know him.
You do
You're
know him.
aware that he exists.
He's Mike.
You
He's
know him.
real.
He's Mike.
He's,
He's
It's
got
like you
skin.
redacted
It's
the part
Mike.
that says you know him, you love him. You're just like,
Yeah.
well,
you know him.
know him.
You
I
have,
tolerate him. It's Mike.
you have no strong feelings either way. It's Mike.
You know he's real. It's Mike. Mike was asked, "You're building the perfect pizza. What topping is absolutely off limits?"
oh.
This is a hard one for Mike, because Mike will eat pizza with any garbage on it. I have
Pretty
seen
much,
Mike.
yeah.
Basically, Mike
Mike will-
for pizza.
You could empty
Yeah.
an offal bin on top of a pizza and I would totally eat it. Yeah.
Mike will
that's
deliberately
disgusting.
order like the stunt pizza they put on
Yeah.
the menu as a joke.
Yeah.
What was that one you ordered in New York together? I wasn't there. but
Oh
you
no,
ordered
that was
some
a pizza hamburger
Burger.
that he
Yeah.
ordered. So,
Wait,
it
I
But
was
don't
a
I've
understand
burger.
the
I've
mechanics.
also ordered a pizza with a burger on it as well. So I've gone both ways. Like,
Was that at Guy
Costa Street.
Fieri's restaurant that we went to, ironically?
maybe no. I think it was a different place, but we did also go to Guy Fieri's thing, and I think I ordered a burger that was between 2 grilled cheese sandwiches, maybe at that place.
Yes.
Which is,
Then you
Yeah.
started getting chest pains, I remember.
yeah, and then I had
Yeah,
to
yeah.
stop and lie down.
No,
for a bit.
okay, so the burger that he had was at the Black Tap on the
That
Lower
was
East
right,
Side.
yeah.
And it was a pizza burger. And so it was a
Okay.
burger topped with like pizza sauce, like marinara sauce, and then like
Uh-huh.
mozzarella cheese and like some other
delicious.
pizza toppings, and then
There's
a
a photo of it
bun,
on my Instagram, I think.
and then a load of
probably.
other cheese, and then a load of other marinara sauce, and it was served in a tote bag full of marinara sauce.
It was great.
So Mike is like the evil Knievel, like the stunt person of food eating.
I will order, stunt food just to
He's
to
very
find out
brave.
how it tastes. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a foodie in my own way.
And yet,
your
Mike
own
did
way.
provide me with an answer
Okay.
to
Okay,
the
so
pizza topping that is off limits.
Okay.
so it'll. I'm assuming he hasn't said something obviously inedible, like poison.
Assume what you like. That,
The
I
two
mean,
big-
that's absolutely off limits.
The two
Human
big
flesh.
unpleasant
Human
pizza
flesh.
toppings are human flesh. Yes, you remember
I have
the
to draw
scandal.
the line at uranium.
Remember the scandal with Domino's all human flesh pizza?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, there goes
Oops,
the
all
Domino's
human
sponsorship.
flesh.
yeah.
Yeah,
But it was monkey meaty.
yeah.
That was
the two
alternative
main-
to the meat lovers, and it was the human meat lovers.
The cannibalism lovers.
Yeah.
You're eating a meat lover. We have fed a human. We have fed a human
Okay.
Domino's.
So pineapple and anchovies are the two
Are the
big
obvious
ones.
ones, but
I don't think
remember
Mike has a
how-
big problem with pineapple, so I would say anchovies.
I think Mike
James.
might like pineapple on pizza, so I'm not going to go with the other one. I think
Got that
anchovies
sort
is
of
actually.
deviant, do you?
Oh well, Mike may be playing three-dimensional chess with his
Playing
pineapple
one-dimensional
comment
chess.
there.
Yeah.
Tom Titherington donates $10 and says this is for Mike's heart health. So thank you, Tom.
Oh, it's going to take more than 10, Tom, but you're very.
We're putting it in the
Yeah,
fund.
Buy
rattle
Mike
the
My
a
can
medical
for
bills are
Mike's
outrageous.
triple bypass.
Just scrape all that lard out of there.
Let's see if I can find this friggin'
Mike's
pizza
Heart
burger.
was 2 sizes too big. So
They call
His
medically
vegetables were too
enlarged.
sizes too
Medically
small.
enlarged heart.
Okay, I don't think he said pineapple. I don't think he said anchovies. He may have said something like broccoli or kale or like something green and disgusting. That's me putting words in Mike's mouth because I think
Can you
kale
see-
and broccoli
can you
on
see
pizza is
this?
fine.
This
It
is the
just
That's
looks
the
pizza
like a big
burger.
bowl of red
Is that off
stuff.
my Instagram?
That's off your Instagram, yeah.
Yeah. That's
looks
Got a
like
bowl
that's
of
pizza.
marinara sauce on the side.
that looks
Yeah.
like
Mike,
something
are
I
you
would
doing it
stab
for
in
the
the
gram?
throat in The Last of Us.
I do everything for the gram, yeah. I think the grilled cheese sandwich burger is on my
It's for the
gram as
gram.
well. Yeah.
Mike's stunt. You should retheme your Instagram account as just like a stunt food.
Yeah,
account.
stunt
Like
food, yeah.
stunt food.
It would
Okay.
be a great 12 months.
6 at best. The doctors have given me.
I suspect it's something like green, maybe something leafy.
I'm going to have
Something
to push you,
healthy,
Jane, because Andy's
yeah.
put his cards on the table now.
Okay.
I've
gotta-
slapped an anchovy down onto the table. It's
Oh,
getting
but they're
anchovy
only
oil
little.
everywhere.
Anchovies only tiny, so it'd be like.
I've got a fan of anchovies and I've slapped them onto the table.
I reckon. I think it's got to be something green, but I don't know what Mike would have specifically singled out to be the pizza poison.
Pizza poison.
I mean,
you don't even
broccoli
know
is
him.
semi-common. Like semi-common if you're in a trendy pizza place, that they'll put like wild tender stem broccoli or something on the pizza. So let's say broccoli.
Okay.
Broccoli's good on pizza.
I
has-
like broccoli on pizza. Yeah.
Jane has said broccoli, Andy has said anchovies. Well, the actual answer that Mike gave, 3 words for you folks.
What?
Anchovies.
Yes!
Oh, that's so
Andy-
basic.
Sorry.
Andy nailed it. Mike wrote, anchovies. In fact, any seafood. The problem with seafood is it basically all tastes like drinking seawater. You can make convincing vegetarian fish and chips by wrapping tofu in seaweed and deep frying it, then adding chips, obviously. That's how nonsense seafood is.
How's
Keep
this
it
turned
away
into a
from
recipe
that
blog?
delicious
Wait, I'm going to write this down. Tofu wrapped in
Mike's
seaweed.
mind started to wander halfway through that, I think. But
Come up with a
luckily-
new recipe.
Come up with a new recipe.
But luckily, he did say anchovies first. So Andy, 1 point. To
Yes, on the board.
I would say
Andy's on the
anchovies has a
board.
very distinctive flavour. It's all
I like
salty,
anchovies a
oily.
lot.
Yeah.
I love
Oily
anchovies on
seawater.
pizza.
I've so come around to
No.
anchovies.
They're oily.
Do you ever make
Just salt.
Yeah, you ever make like a puttanesca pasta where you chop
Yes.
up a load of anchovies and you have like garlic and
It's
tomato?
delicious.
No,
Oh,
because it's
amazing.
got anchovies in it. No.
That's fair.
delicious. Oh yeah.
There's a Malaysian bar snack called ikan bilis, I think, and it's just tiny little like dried. I think they're anchovies, tiny little dried fish, and you just eat them whole, and they're all crispy. Nom, nom, nom.
yeah,
Talking
yeah.
of Malaysian delicacies, there's also, and talking of tofu, there's like a type of tofu called like old granny's stinky tofu. Or
Stinky tofu.
yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah.
delicious. It's
Okay.
amazing. But it was very, very spicy. Very good.
Sounds delicious. I've not.
This
had
whole
that.
round has made me hungry. I'm thinking about ending this now.
No!
So I can order pizza.
It's
The
fermented.
friendship
the
is
stinky
only
tofu,
injured, not
so-
dead.
Yeah, it's
Gotta
been
put it
winged.
out
yes,
of
sorry,
its
you're right.
misery.
It's been
If we
wounded.
stop the stream now, it might bleed out. But I want to double tap this.
I don't know.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
wound
yeah.
the wound might reclose on its own.
It might. Yeah, I think it's septic, but I'm
Like-
not sure.
Reclosed
Well,
like
can't
an
tell.
arteries.
I'm
Unless
giving
you're gonna
it a
have to
sniff.
smell it.
Too close to call. Okay, the next one. This was question leveled at Jane.
Oh yeah.
I asked Jane, if you fell in a nuclear reactor, what superpower would you hope
Willing.
to come out having
One day I
acquired?
will.
Okay,
Power of
so
flight, right? That's the best one. Flying is the best superpower.
I disagree.
What?
I disagree.
All right, come on then.
All right. Well, I'm not going to say invisibility because I know your opinion on invisibility as a superpower.
Invisibility is for perverts.
Is
Yeah,
only
it's-
the only people who want invisibility as a superpower are perverts.
Perverts
Mike,
and bank robbers.
Mike
Perverts and
cannot
bank robbers.
think of a second use for the power of invisibility.
Go on then. Perverts and bank robbers. What's the third use, Andy? What else would you use invisibility for?
Spies.
Stopping crimes.
Spies.
Yeah.
Stopping
Robbing a bank, but in a
crimes.
perverse way.
Yeah. I mean, you could stop you could stop crimes by like following criminals to their lair and then like figuring out what's going on. But that
could
doesn't
infiltrate
discount the
places.
possibility that you
Like
could do
James
that
Bond.
naked and be getting off on it.
And you
gonna
have to do it naked. You can't be invisible with your clothes. You've got to
Yeah,
take
but
everything
you
off.
you don't have to be getting off on it.
You
I'm
can't
gonna
solve
give
any
Andy-
crimes when it's cold. That's 6
I'm
months
going
of
to
the
give Andy
year
a
out. of the
bonus half point because even though he's annoyed Mike, he did demonstrate applied knowledge of
Mike's thought processes.
Mike's thought processes.
Um,
So you're getting
I
half a point there, Andy.
thank you very
But
much.
it's what does
oh,
Jane
wise
Spicy.
quizmaster? I would say teleportation would be the power because
Why teleport somewhere where you can fly there?
because flying
Because
takes
it's a
time.
lot faster.
Whereas if you can teleport
Depends how
places,
fast you can fly. Superman can fly like around the world in like a second.
you just said flight. You didn't say super fast flight.
It's implied.
You mean like
It's not
mosquito
implied.
level flight where you're like,
Yeah. Across. You just said flight, which is hovering above the ground and moving. Teleportation, you could be like, where should we go for dinner tonight? Oh, I know. How about that place in Mexico that does the amazing tacos? And then, bam, you're
Taco
there.
Bell.
Yeah. And then
When
the,
you-
the Chihuahua
when you-
comes
the
over and
Mexico
he's like,
City
yo
branch
quiero
of Taco
Taco Bell. And you're having
when
a
you
Baja
blink into-
Blast crunching Mountain Dew burrito.
What's that incredible little?
Little place
What's that lovely little
in
place?
Mexico.
What's that?
That
Yeah.
swinging joint.
Like, ooh, I'll have one of those Chupalitas,
You
please.
won't have heard of it.
Don't skimp on the flaming hot Cheetos. It's a local delicacy. Teleportation. Or you could be like, what should we do this weekend? I don't know. Let's go to Disney World, and then let's go to Universal Studios Japan in the same
when
day.
you- But when you blink into existence,
Sounds
there,
expensive.
you would be arrested and dissected.
You would
point.
blink into existence somewhere private, like a toilet.
Checkmate. Mike, what's your
What if,
answer?
what if someone's already in the toilet? I think the power of flight. Flight's more fun.
Okay.
Teleportation doesn't feel special. It's just like, well, I was here, now I'm there. It's like flying around and whizzing
Well,
around
I was
and doing
visible,
loops and
and
stuff.
now I'm invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was
and
the
if-
size of a man.
I
and now
was
I'm the
not a
size of
pervert,
planet.
and now I'm a
Boring.
pervert.
The thing with Superman's power of flight is that Superman has additional powers that allow him to fly fast and high. A human being with just the power of flight, they wouldn't be able to go high. They couldn't breathe the oxygen. They couldn't go
Wait,
fast. The
wait.
friction would burn their
Wait,
face
what
off.
are Superman's additional powers that give
Yeah.
flight as a
Super
secondary
strength,
power?
invulnerability. I'm
Neither
saying
of
he's
those
got
have
additional
anything-
powers that make him being able to fly
Oh,
survivable.
Bench
okay,
pressing the
okay.
earth, Andy. Super strength has nothing to do with it.
No, but it means that his skin doesn't all burn off when he flies at the speed of sound, like a human being's would.
I don't think
I hear
skin
you.
wouldn't
I
burn
get you.
off.
I thought you were saying flight was an artifact of having other powers, but you're saying
No,
other
no.
powers make flight survivable.
Superman has every power, and that
Okay.
means that he can
Does
fly
he?
the way he
Doesn't have
does.
Invisibility.
He
Yeah.
Because
can moves
we
so
can
fast.
Not a pervert.
Superman is not a pervert.
Yes, the
Although
one
he
power
does
he
wear his
refused.
underwear outside his trousers, which I think
His
is
strong
some-
moral
some sort
compass
of
refused.
He
perversion.
said, "Not for me, thanks."
Yeah.
Actually,
said,
he
"Are
can
you
be
sure?"
invisible, but he never does it. Yeah.
Are you sure, Superman? The changing rooms are just over there. Wink. And he went, no.
No, I have
Not
X-ray
for me.
vision.
Yeah! What are you using X-ray vision for?
Perversions.
Mike? Perversions. He's committing an aerial perversion from his...
Before I give the answer, I just want to point out how here I am for Mike boringly stating having the superpower of teleportation. Like,
It's
I'm
so
here, now I'm
boring.
there, who cares?
Just
I
fly
have
there, it's more
adamantium
fun.
claws, now I don't, who cares?
It's
Okay,
true that
well-
we haven't considered the possibility that Jane might be
Once
a
adamantium
pervert
claws.
and wants to use invisibility for perverted reasons. I mean, it's entirely possible.
A
Well,
bold
you know,
thing to
I've
say.
got both your answers on lock now. And looking at the notes, Jane's actual response was the power to eat any plant and gain nutrition from
What?
the plant. And
No,
find
it wasn't.
delicious.
No!
You're making
None of
this
your
up.
plant nutrition boy
Stop
nonsense.
Okay, fine. Jane didn't say that. Here's what she
Oh, I
said.
could have. It would have been such a gift for Luke. and yet.
Well, we're not leaving any friendships on the table here, including any ones with me.
Aw,
so-
if there's time, and there won't be, Luke should explain Plant Nutrition Boy as his
Oh,
favourite
God.
superpower.
Yeah, I should get a platform to
Luke.
explain
That,
plant
that
nutrition.
walk
Boy,
through
Jane,
the
you're
Olympic
right.
Park where Luke explained this at great length.
You're right. I haven't been given ample opportunity to explain it. Okay, here's what Jane actually said. Are you ready?
Yep.
No.
Teleportation.
Yes!
Oh, come on.
Your
Yes.
face, Mike! Your stupid
Teleportation
Mike
and-
face, my
and
friend
here's-
Mike.
Here's
It's
Jane's
Baloney.
obvious,
reasoning.
it's obviously the best, most versatile one.
Jane said, teleportation. I can teleport myself and anything/anyone I'm holding on to anywhere on Earth. In fact, anywhere in the solar system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. It's going to be a short trip to Mercury, isn't it?
Yeah.
As you immediately incinerate yourself.
Well, that's
mean,
my
I would-
thinking.
I
is
would
that
stick with
it's a-
Earth.
It's a superpower. If I ever need to destroy like a great evil, and I have one shot at this, all I have to do is grab their hand and teleport us both to Mercury, and then that's done. But that's like a single use virtuous act. That's going to be the one thing that tips the balance in my favor after I do all the evil things. I will use my power of teleportation
Right.
once in an act of self-sacrifice to save the world,
Nice.
and then it'll all balance out. Yeah.
Great choice. It's what I would go with too.
No, it's
Okay,
boring.
well.
Fly around the place. It's great.
Fly around at walking speed.
Not at walking speed.
Andy's right, because you could go anywhere you like instantaneously and come back and sleep in your own bed. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Well-
you would never have to get a night bus.
All right,
Imagine.
I'm sold.
There's,
I mean,
I'm switching my vote.
there's no greater power.
Very good. Well done,
Yay.
Andy. The points as they stand. Actually, no. Let's do the last question this round.
Okay.
Recap the points. Okay. This head scratcher, was pointed in the direction of, you know him, you love him. You see he's wearing a hat. It's Andy.
Hang on.
Yeah,
He gets 3 descriptors.
that's right.
Andy was asked, what
Popular character, Andy.
fictional character would you most like to go to the pub with?
Oh.
What
I surprised
fictional character
myself
would you most
with
like
this
to go
answer,
to the
so
pub
good luck.
with?
What? Really? That
Yeah.
means it's not Gomez Adams. Fine.
Does it have to be a real person or can it be a fictional character?
It is a
It's
fictional
right there in the question, Jane. What fictional character would you most like to go to the pub with?
I wasn't listening. Sorry.
Does it have to be a pub?
For God's sake, Luke, I wasn't listening! What's the matter with you?
You worked so hard on
Brainless
this
oaf.
test.
You assumed I was listening.
I'm sorry. I apologise. Okay. So it's. I mean, Mike's absolutely right. If he surprised himself, then it's not Gomez Adams because
Yeah.
that's the obvious one.
Gomez Adams wouldn't be seen dead or alive in a pub. Is he dead or is he alive?
Gomez
He's a live
Adams.
man.
Yeah.
He's
he's
alive.
a live man.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in a living sort
He's
of
just
state.
spooky.
It's a good answer. Raul
But
Julia
not the
is a
right
real
answer.
person.
Yeah.
I could go to the pub with Raul Julia and we could just recite his lines from his movies.
I'm sure he
while
would
drinking.
really love that.
Has the planet gone mad?
He'd
so
be like,
forth.
yes,
I'm sure I
Andy,
read a story
I'm glad
once
we came
that-
here to the pub. Sorry, Luke. Go
I'm
on.
sure I read a story once that Angelica Houston was in a bar with Raul Julia once, and his eye popped out, and he just
Yeah.
popped it back in.
It just
What?
popped out down his cheek and he was like, oh, this again. Popped it back in.
That must
He
have
had,
been alarming.
he had eyes that popped out as a.
I mean, they looked
physiological
like they
thing.
were popping out constantly, but I didn't realise it was a thing that
Thing?
actually happened to him. Yeah.
Apparently.
I mean, that is a faint memory that I cannot stand by with any kind of evidence, but I seem to remember reading it once. So, fictional character, Andy, he's in the pub. Who's he drinking with?
Okay,
He raises his
well-
pint glass. Cheers. Who's on the other
Okay.
side of that pint glass?
Cheers.
First thought,
fellas.
Instinctive answer is Hannibal from Silence of the Lambs, but not from Silence of the Lambs, from the Hannibal TV show, because he is an impeccably dressed,
Seems dangerous.
urbane person who
As
is
long as you're not
witty
rude to him.
and cultured, and as long as you're not rude to him, he won't kill and eat you. So there's.
How are you
the
going to
answer.
last 5 pints in a pub and not be
Without
rude to
being
him?
rude to
Accidentally,
him.
yeah.
I'd say,
pub isn't the
normal
ideal
people
setting.
find it quite easy, mate.
If you spill your drink on him, you're toast. You realise that? Or on
Yeah.
toast.
On toast as a pate.
I'm thinking of like Andy Halloween costumes. So there's also John Wick, but I don't think John Wick would be much fun at the
Yeah.
pub. Don't get me wrong, I have endless respect for
Yeah.
Mr. Wick, but I don't think he'd be a right laugh.
Oh, John, I've got you a pint. And he's like,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah, exactly.
I'll drink the pint.
So maybe not, Mr. Wick. John Marston or Arthur Morgan.
I wondered about John Marston and
Potentially.
Arthur Morgan.
I
Yeah.
think Arthur Morgan would probably be more
fun.
down the
Or
line.
Lenny. Lenny would be the most fun. Lenny from Red Dead Redemption 2.
I mean, it would be amusing.
I'm going to have
Live
Lenny
out that
from Red
mission.
Dead Redemption 2, yeah. Lenny! You just means you can shout Lenny over and over again. I'm having
He'd
Lenny.
probably like that.
He loved it.
Lenny! Hey, we're having fun, aren't we, Lenny? Lenny!
I want to go with.
Look, no fun.
I want my Lenny.
I can't get around the idea that Andy surprises himself with his answer. He probably said like a Premier League footballer or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wayne
yeah,
Rooney.
Johnny Goals. Johnny Goals.
Johnny
Love that
Goldface.
So,
J. Gold.
someone surprising who's a fictional character.
Lenny.
What fiction is Andy into at the moment?
I'm
Not
going to
really
push you for
familiar.
answers now, because I'm hearing nothing but...
You've got mine. It's Lenny from Red Dead Redemption 2.
Lenny
Alright,
from
I'm gonna
Red
go-
Dead, says
I'm gonna
Mike.
go
You thought that was a
Hannibal
joke.
From the TV show Hannibal,
Jane's going for Hannibal.
but not the the cool Hannibal with the cool
Okay,
suits. Yeah.
well, good answers, folks. I don't know how you're going to react to this, but here's what Andy said.
Okay.
And I'm going to read his answer verbatim because I don't want you to accuse me of meddling.
Yes, please.
Andy has written, Andy, bear in
Yes.
mind, who
Yes.
you know him.
Do we though? Do we really?
Well, that's the
Can you
question,
really
isn't it?
know an Andy?
Who can really know?
There's a big question mark over that now because what Andy wrote was,
Yeah.
for some reason, the first name that popped into my head was Gandalf from Lord of the Rings.
What?
Which aren't
Andy,
even
you
books
hate
or
Lord of
movies
the
that I
Rings.
enjoy very much.
You said I have you on record as saying Lord of the Rings is for terrible people who are nerds that I hate.
Is this you making it
My
up again,
exact
Luke?
words.
Like Plant Nutrition Boy?
My exact words.
Sorry,
I'm not
please
making this
continue,
up.
Luke.
Andy continues, I do find Gandalf very funny though, probably because everything he says is so portentous, so I can imagine it would be brilliant fun to have a pint with him while he recants the tale of the elven spire of Xanathar or whatever. Andy goes on to say, probably the others will say one of the Red Dead cowboys, which would be good, but I'm not sure they'd be as much fun to drink with on account of their taciturn nature and predilection for getting into gunfights, and I just love Gandalf so darn much.
No, you don't, you liar. Why would you lie? You don't
So
know
I may have
that's
added
no
the last
points.
few words there.
So that's no
I
points
should
to my
get half a
opponents.
point for
Is-
the Red Dead cowboy. I suppose.
I
Jane
said
mentioned it
I'm
as well.
not choosing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's no points for my opponents, is what you're saying.
That's no points for the opponents.
And
No.
That's a
as
jerk
far
move.
as I know, Andy hasn't even watched the Lord of the Rings films. Or-
Oh, you know I have.
have you?
Andy,
Yes!
Andy
I haven't.
makes
I certainly haven't.
We've
I've
Andy
watched-
makes a loud groaning noise whenever anything to do with Lord of the Rings.
We've watched them together, and I groaned loudly throughout.
Yeah. Oh, now I remember how much Andy hated Lord of the Rings movies.
Whenever we have to
I just
write an
think it would
entry
be
about
funny.
Shadow of Mordor or something. I can't imagine Gandalf
You know-
would have a very good time, Andy. You're just in the pub with him like, oh.
You know, like
about the
Ian McKellen owns a pub. You could just go to Ian McKellen's pub and hang out with Ian McKellen, and it would be probably.
He's
much
not
more-
fictional. Ian McKellen is real.
Yeah, that's true.
He would be good to drink with, though. I think
How
Ian
was it
McKellen
not
would be
Gomez
more fun.
Adams? What's wrong with you,
Gomez
man?
Adams would be good. I think Hannibal is actually an excellent choice. He
Right?
would be, yeah, he would be like,
And there'd be an extra frisson of danger because if you
Yeah.
were rude to him, he would kill and eat you.
That's
And
what
he'd
I'm
be
really
like,
looking forward in a pub trip.
A
Is
frisson
a
of
frisson of
danger.
danger.
he'd
I
be
want a
like,
frisson of
Andy,
booze,
this,
please,
uh,
and perhaps a
this is-
frisson of some nuts. And
this
some-
is a delicacy in
crisps.
South America, Andy. What they do is they drown a baby bird in brandy, and then you drink it. And I'd be like, oh, I've never heard of that. Hannibal, you're so cultured. It'd be good.
Yeah.
There's that.
And then
there's that
Gandalf
drink-
would burst in.
There's that
Don't
that
drink
has
the brandy! It has come
Andy,
from the private stock of Xanathor, king of the Elven Spire.
Not,
Andy, if you love
the
Lord of
lost
the Rings
brandy
so much,
birds are not all accounted for.
name
Yes.
all of Melchior's lieutenants.
Easy.
Melchior's not a real character.
Gribbleshanks. Number 2, Hornston. Number 3,
Hornston.
Freshly. Number 4, Grimspire. Do you want me to go on, or have I proven to you that I
No,
know
you
them all?
named them all. You named every
Yeah.
last one.
He did
Exactly.
actually name them.
Yeah.
You think I'm going to forget Hornston and Freshly?
Hornston.
Oh my god.
I am Hornston, known to some as Blaunston. Sons of
As Freshly.
Hornston.
Freshly
Son of
too.
Freshly.
Oh man.
Freshly's one of the Aya.
Oh, I mean, you don't need to tell me, Luke.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna buy Andy the Silmarillion for his birthday.
Oh,
That's-
please.
that's
Why would
gonna
you
be
ruin
my
his day like
revenge.
that?
Please, I can't wait to read it.
Okay.
That is the most shocking answer that we've had so far.
It really
Needless
is,
to
yeah.
say,
Real upset.
nobody got any points. And Andy's incredibly hard to guess answer to that one is a big contributing factor to the fact that now he's in the lead.
Oh!
How?
Turns out I'm the best friend. What
I
about
think that was
2.5
gamesmanship.
points.
I think Andy answered dishonestly.
No, I
to-
answered entirely honestly. It's not my fault. You don't know my whims enough to know that I would want to hang out with Gandalf, who I hate.
Andy
No, that at the
actually-
time he was throwing a dartboard at fictional, like a
Yeah.
dartboard covered in fictional characters, and was just like, yeah, there you go, like, Gandalf.
Imagine if Gandalf, contrary to what you would expect, was such a lightweight and got real rowdy real fast.
And it was a real messy drunk.
mean drunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Threw up in his beard straight away.
Oh.
The
so
second a mouthful of beer past his lips.
Blasting vomit.
Don't worry, Andy, I know a spell for this. And then he would do the wrong spell and smash a window and then be like, "Jeez, it!"
We have to throw this beer into Mount Doom. Get on this eagle, Gandalf.
Andy,
That's
Mount Doom is what I call my mouth.
Gandalf, that's a police car. Get off it.
So what are the scores?
Well,
What are the scores? What are the actual
Scores
scores?
are Andy's in the lead with 2.5 points.
Ah,
Mike has 2
2.5.
points. Jane is trailing with 1 point.
So sad.
Outrageous.
Thought I'd be doing better.
What
That
was the
would be-
1 point you got? Was it anchovy?
It
Anchovy.
was,
No, sushi.
no. Sushi.
Oh, sushi. That's right.
Sushi.
That's right. That's right.
I was so sure.
Okay. Well, there we have the scores as they stand.
Can't wait to read up on Hornston and Freshly later.
In the Silmarillion.
Or the
You were
lore.
getting to
In the
your birthday.
appendix of the Silmarillion.
Oh god. Oh.
Now you're probably
Wheels
wondering,
within wheels.
what's the next question
Yeah.
that Mike was asked?
Yeah.
I am wondering.
Oh, I'm not wondering because I know what it is. Yeah.
Mike's
yeah,
not
Mike's probably
wondering
not
it.
wondering.
Here it is, folks.
Yeah.
Mike was posed this brain teaser. A previously untamable horse responds only to you. What do you name the horse, and why does it trust you specifically?
Now, is this 2 points? Is it a point for what I named it and a point for why it trusts me?
It's up to me.
Okay, cool. I'll allow you
all up to me.
make a decision at some point.
Okay. What would Mike name a horse if he had? I think he'd name it "I Wish You Were a Car" or something.
I mean, that's definitely the sentiment,
But
not
that's not
necessarily
a
the
name.
name.
I'm torn between either a horse pun, a la Red Dead,
Ooh, yeah.
or Mike Jr.
Okay,
I think
So-
maybe. I think
son.
Andy's onto something with a
My
horse
son.
pun.
Yeah. So I think what's his? I think his Red Dead horse is called Shia
Shia
LaHoof. So
LaHoof,
Shia
yeah.
LaHoof. So
Shia
I'm going to
LaHoof.
go with that
Oh no, Andy got there first. So
for the continuity, and the reason that it trusts
Okay.
Mike is,
Yeah.
of course, his kind eyes.
Okay, so we've got Shia LaHoof /
Shia LaHoof.
Kind Eyes.
okay, I don't think
Jane,
Mike.
do you have
Jr.
anything nice to
is
say
it.
about Mike's eyes, or are you just gonna
No.
give them to him?
But the horse is called. If there were a horse pun that also incorporated a car name, so I'm thinking that such a thing exists, and it is
Ferrari
she
is
said.
the car with a horse on it.
the horse on it. It does have a horsey thing.
It's got the prancing pony.
Il
Like in
Cavallino.
Tolkien, my favourite author. So
Horse is quite hard to rhyme with, though, right?
Vauxhall Horser or something.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you did it. Fair
There you
enough.
go. But I don't think that's the answer because otherwise Mike wouldn't have been like.
We'd have
"Oh,
sounded
okay,
less
yeah, yeah,
surprised that you got
yeah."
it immediately.
So it's not Vauxhall Horser.
Okay.
That's good though.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I might have that.
You can name your horse that, Jane. If you
Vauxhall
like.
Horser. Okay. All right. I'm trying to
Ford
think of
Mustang.
cars.
that's a
A
horse.
Mustang is a horse thing, right?
That's true,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Pony
the
Danza,
Ferrari.
I think. Isn't Pony Danza the name of Mike's horse in Red Dead?
Pony Dancer is not the name of my Red Dead horse,
Jane.
Okay.
but it is a good
Friend,
name.
are you?
Isn't it someone's name in someone's? What's yours is? Okay, I'm going for Pony Danza because that's from somewhere. I feel like that's a thing. And the reason it trusts Mike is because Mike saved its life from something, probably
Gandalf.
from Gandalf.
Have you seen how I treat my
Gandalf.
horses in Red Dead?
Yeah, no, that's true. Mike's never
Drunk
saved a horse's
Gandalf
life.
spills
and
out
I
the
know
pub
it.
looking for a fight. He
It's
passes
Pony
his day.
Reeling
Danza.
down the street, fists cocked.
Because
Fool
he fed
of a
it a nice
horse.
apple or something. He fed it a nice apple.
Okay.
Describe the apple.
It is a wild windfall apple that he found in the grass.
That sounds
Right.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah, delicious. I can see why.
crisp, real crisp.
See
apple.
why the horse fell in love with Mike.
And sweet. Yeah.
Well, those were good guesses, but you did not get the answers on either the name
No.
or why it
Dang.
Oh.
And I was obviously that
Yay.
was a hard question. I was prepared to give half points, maybe full points if you were sort of like thematically on point, but you neither of you
Not
were
even
at all.
thematically on point.
Not even thematically on point.
Not even thematically on point, but you could have been if you'd have borne in mind how Mike treats his horses in Red Dead, because there's
Oh,
nothing nice
okay.
about this answer.
Oh, is it called like
Trash
Meatloaf
horse.
or Glue Factory or
Stupid
Hot
glue
Glue Gun?
horse. Yeah.
I hate you
Stupid
and I wish
horse
you were
that
a
I hate
car.
and wish was dead.
Pre-glue?
Not car. Not car. Not car the horse.
Yeah, it's probably
Um,
that.
Here's what Mike wrote.
Okay.
I feel bad about. Let me just say, I do feel bad about this answer, but also I stand by it.
But not so bad that you continued typing and then pressed send on the email. Okay. Here's what Mike wrote. And bear in mind, he feels bad.
Okay.
He wrote, I'd call it donkey as a power move to keep it in line.
Oh.
It might only be briefly tamed.
You said it was an
Mind
untamable horse. It might just only briefly be tamed and then get back to being bad. So I need to.
That's
I
exactly
need to
the
keep
kind
it
of
in mind.
attitude that leads to seemingly untamable horses, Mike.
Is it?
Mike
No,
continues.
they just need to be put in their place.
Mike continued. Why does it trust me? Because I know that it's important never to lie. My father, the King of Sweden, taught me that. So he's lied to the horse, basically.
Wow.
That's
You
why
don't know
it
my father
trusts
wasn't
him.
the King of Sweden.
That's true, I don't.
So
Is
the
your
people
father
in
the
the
king of
stable yard, the people in the stable yard look over, and the previously untamable horse is docilely nodding its head and pawing at the sand, and they're like, "Oh my God, you did it! You tamed the horse.
did you
We've never
whisper
been
into
able to.
it?
What did you say to it?" I told it my dad was the king of Sweden, and it's called Donkey now.
It's called
'cause
Donkey now, yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, you know,
F
like the
this
one
horse.
from Shrek.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Yeah.
to anyone in the stable, he would look like a regular horse whisperer because Mike would be there with the horse's head
And
in
he'd be like,
his hands. We'd be whispering,
Yeah.
and he'd be like, "Wow, that man truly has
My dad
good
was the
confidence
king
of
of
horses."
Sweden.
But what he would be whispering is like, "You suck,
You suck. You suck.
stupid donkey."
Hate you.
And then I'd ride it into a tree or something.
I
Off a
hate
cliff.
hate horses.
I'm going to eat you when you die.
Wow.
If I can wait that long.
So you're like the horse negger, not the horse whisperer.
Oh, I guess so,
You're
yeah.
just negging
Yeah,
this
just
horse.
call
That
him
makes it sound
Arnold.
bad.
He's got such
Call him
low
Arnold Horsenegger
self-esteem.
from now on. Wow.
Horse.
Okay.
Wow. I mean,
Horse
I am
ain't
learning.
horse.
I am learning a lot about Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
too
On
much,
stream,
if
so-
anything.
You overestimated his compassion for horses.
Horses.
For our
Ah.
four-legged friends.
Don't trust them.
And
Don't trust them.
but as a result, you get no points.
Oh,
And has
It's
Mike
a good
suffered
move for me in
his
terms
ills?
of the game,
No.
I would say.
No, no. He's played you like
rats.
xylophones.
Like a damn fiddle.
Badly.
Okay. This question was leveled at Jane.
Yeah.
Jane was asked, "What skill that you don't have?" Wait, hang on. Let me. This question was poorly phrased when it was put to Jane, but let me correct it now on the fly.
It made sense to me, so I wonder what I read.
What skill that you don't have? Hang on. I'll get there.
What's the problem with the question,
Here's what's
Luke?
missing. Here's what's missing.
Perhaps
What's
you'd like
a
to write the
skill
questions
that you
next time.
don't have that you wish you did have?
Yes.
That's the question.
what-
What's a
that's what
skill
I
that you
thought
don't
it
have
said.
that you wish you did have?
Well, Jane is obviously very skilled in a number of areas, so this is going to be a tricky one.
Thinking about taking away a half point for that, Andy.
No. Oh, damn. All right. Okay. My first thought is musical instruments. I think being able to play a musical instrument. I think Jane has a good singing voice, but she can't play any instruments.
It's sweet of
And-
you to lie.
I think that's something she would maybe like to be able to do. I don't know. Maybe she would
It's a good
consider
answer.
it
It's a good
stupid
answer.
and dumb. I think what other like notable skills Jane lacks. I guess like compassion.
It's not a skill. That's more of an
No,
innate
it's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
quality.
you're born
Can't
with
be
it.
taught.
Yeah.
That's an excuse, Jane.
It's a
can't be
frailty. It's a frailty that I'm blessedly
Weakness.
unequipped with. Yeah.
Friends, family, religion. These are the three demons you must slay.
Mike, any thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like musical instruments are a strong answer. Either that or maybe, I guess, a sport of some sort, like some sort of physical activity. Yeah, I don't know. But then there are so many sports. How would you pick just one? Although, are we talking to like an Olympic level? Are we talking Olympic level brilliance?
Yeah, you would be like a high level at this skill.
At which point you'd be like,
Whittling?
which is the coolest sport to be a gold medalist in?
Prospecting.
Town
Gold.
planning.
Olympic
Olympic
prospecting. Imagine getting bronze in Olympic prospecting.
Yeah.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah, you would. That's how you do it. You find some
Yeah, you
bronze
fail.
in the river.
Yeah, instead of gold.
You're like, oh, well, could have found some gold, but I guess this will
I don't
do.
know, yeah. It's difficult, isn't it? Or maybe something that Jane already, like a sport that Jane already does, but would like to be better at. Maybe. Like climbing, maybe, or something like that. I'm going to go for climbing. That's a thing that is... Jane already
can
does.
do that.
Yeah, but not to like the
Alright.
top level. So like,
I say
maybe
my
it's-
second choice
Climbing the corporate ladder.
is like art, drawing, painting.
But you can't have
So-
two. You've got to pick one.
No, I know I
Is
can't
it-
have two. Oh God. I might
Good
change it
question,
because I
this.
know that Jane considers it extremely shameful to know how to play the guitar. So
Only when you do it, Andy.
Yeah.
That is what I wrote in the email. I was like, I consider anyone who can play any instrument
Yeah.
beneath my contempt. Yeah.
All right, can I change it to like drawing, like art and stuff?
This is a great question because everything you even passingly guess, the implication is that you're confident that Jane sucks at it so much.
Yeah, exactly.
that you would love to get better at it.
I've actually seen some like cartoons that Jane has drawn, and they're pretty good. So I think maybe she had some sort of ambitions in that direction.
Lost it.
But
Yeah, lost
like,
the.
They
not
the
lost
net.
it, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Died in the fire. Yeah.
Crushed under the wheels of this bloody
So yeah, I'm
rat
going
race.
with art.
Okay, art. Mike.
Yeah, some sort of physical thing. Climbing, I guess.
Climbing, I guess, is the amount of effort that Mike was willing to put into his response. Okay. Who's ready to find out the answer?
Yes.
Mike said climbing. Andy said art. Jane said
Yeah.
teleportation.
It's a skill that I lack.
But then went on to say, actually, language skills. Being
Oh.
multilingual.
Come
I
on,
speak
language.
Useful. It would be very useful.
Yeah.
Jane
Yeah.
said I
That's
speak
the other one
GC
that's a good thing
GCSE
to know how
French
to do.
GCSE French.
and less than tourist level Hokkien Chinese. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm sure Jane
Yep.
can correct me if I
Fine.
didn't. And I would love to be fluent in several languages. It's useful
Yes.
and impressive, which is the best kind of skill.
And
Yeah.
marketable. If this all goes tits up, then you could become an interpreter, like a UN interpreter. You know, like you could be the one feeding translations into diplomats' ears at the
Sure,
UN
Yeah.
or something.
but there are
I've
other
seen
jobs. You know that as well,
Other
like
skills
racing
that
driver or
It's
like
YouTuber
professional
or
climber, Jane.
UN interpreter.
I think I'd rather be a professional climber than a UN interpreter.
Although when you did say sports, I did remember that once I thought it would be really, really good to be the world's best at holding your breath, at like diving, like pearl
Oh,
diving.
like that free diving guy, yeah.
Free diving. I thought free diving was incredibly cool. To the extent that I care about any sport, I was like, free diving would be extremely cool to be the
Easy
world's
to practice
best
at home
Yeah.
as well, because you can just
Yeah,
hold your breath.
bathtub.
I'm
right?
just
I'm
a
glad
shame.
I'm glad
Climbing is
I
about
changed.
going up and diving is going down. I was completely off.
I'm glad I changed my answer because I remembered how much you hold music in contempt. But was I
That's
on the
the
right
main
track
thing
with?
about me. Every time
Yeah.
I talk to Andy, I'm like, Andy, before we begin this conversation,
I hate
I'd
musicians.
like to establish that I hate music and all musicians and everything approximate.
Jane walks in holding the
proximity to it.
remains of a guitar that she snatched out of a busker's hand.
Was I on the right track with the art though? Was that maybe something?
Not
you
enough
would
to have a
consider?
point, Andy. Not enough to have a point.
I feel like I think the question is a gift because it's like I think it implies that it will give you those skills, and
Yeah.
I feel like I would if I really wanted to get better at art, I could probably make that happen. Like if I would just dedicate the time to it. That's
was
the
an
thing that I
amazing,
could
like,
maybe do.
Yeah, there's an
But there's
amazing
no way of
core
learning a
thread.
language, is there? No. You're
No,
right.
No,
I-
that's-
not to. I think it's too late for me to be multilingual. You know the people
You
who
don't have
learn,
the brain
like,
plasticity
what?
to
No, people
work
who
it
have
out.
like 10 languages. It's because they've like been steeped in those languages since they were little, and they have have an aptitude for it. I think at this point, I have to reconcile myself to the idea that I may never speak every language on Earth, and so that's
You may have
something
to
I
accept
have to
that,
live
Jane.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good
Wouldn't
answer
it be
for
cool?
sure.
yeah.
You totally could, though. You know what?
Just
Doesn't
quit your
matter.
job.
Here,
Leave-
I'm accidentally
live
getting
destitute.
sucked in.
Imagine being able to travel anywhere you want and always having the comfort of when you.
Oh,
you
so
know-
are you thinking of like comboing this with your teleportation powers?
Yes, I actually hadn't. Maybe only subliminally was thinking of combining my teleportation power and my
Just teleporting.
Is
multilingual.
this just
Aloha.
all like lockdown cabin fever? It's like I'm trapped
Yes.
at home.
I did think that.
desperately want to go somewhere else
Yes,
and speak
yes,
to
yes.
some people
it
other than
absolutely is.
like
Yeah, when I was writing
English
teleportation,
speakers.
I was definitely like, this is about me being sad about not traveling for a very, very long time. So yeah, it
And
is
with
very
that, I
much
think I've really
keyed into
gotten
travel.
to the core of Jane's psyche and probably deserve
Yeah.
at least half a point.
Thanks for the therapy, everyone.
no.
This was
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah, I've really gotten down to the kernel of.
Yeah. No, I
of
think what
Jane's-
you've done there is you've actually missed entirely the point.
No, I think it's
of
I think
Jane.
it's exactly the thing that informed those answers. Luke,
And you did
isn't
get
it?
my
Isn't
hatred
it,
of
Luke?
music and all things related to music.
Yeah, that shows a deep knowledge of Jane's inner psyche, her contempt and hatred for all musicians.
I
So
think that this is becoming a canonical part of my character now.
Have you ever watched any of Jane's Instagram lives where she just stamps on a bunch of accordions?
yeah, yeah,
have
she
to
got that
buy
big
so
pair of
many
scissors and she
accordions
snipped
just so I can
snipped
destroy
all
them.
the strings on a harp.
Yeah,
That would be
They
really
all
twanged
satisfying.
off
though,
and
wouldn't it?
blinded the
Yeah.
harpist.
Yeah, tore
no.
their eyes out with the sharp ends.
Oh man. This new
Well-
facet of my character, of my online
Just-
persona, is deeply disturbing.
I've seen that video on your personal channel, Jane, where you sneak into the Royal Opera House with a baseball bat and just go ham on the instruments.
Yeah.
It was surprising how well I could film myself doing that with one hand. And
Do you remember when you were
In
hitting?
opera, isn't the instrument the voice? Has you gone ham on all the opera singers?
Yeah,
Is
she
that
went
what's
ham on all
Yeah.
their throats.
I like the bit when she was smashing all the smaller violins with the big cello. That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
was
you've
good.
got to use what's around you, you know.
Yeah.
it was like, stop hitting yourself,
Improvise.
but with
I like the bit where
instruments.
she beat the gong, and for the first few hits, the gong was making the noise it was supposed to, but then it gradually got dented and
Became
deformed.
dented and, yeah,
Sadly
ruined.
Yeah.
became quieter and quieter.
It was good. I like that bit.
Like
Well-
and subscribe, everyone.
Yeah.
Jane Hates Music. YouTube.com/Jane Hates Music.
No one gets any points for that round,
No.
Oh
obviously.
man.
Dang it.
You all
Oh,
did
well.
terribly. Okay. It's on to a question that was levelled at Andy.
Okay.
And I think here is a chance for you both
Now we'll hear
to
some
win
good
some
stuff.
points.
Oh yeah, I could bring it back if I get
Jane
a
and
point
Mike.
and a half.
Yep. Mike, if you get a point here, that would put you in the lead.
That would be amazing. I mean,
Well,
having a
let's-
half point for being brilliant last round would have been amazing as well, but it's fine. I don't hold it against you.
It's best that you don't, or points will start falling away.
Oh no, yeah,
Like
you're in
correctly.
control, aren't you? Damn it.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Andy was asked,
Yeah.
oh no, a famous band's lead singer has called in sick, and they need a replacement quick. Who would you most like to fill in for on stage?
The
It's a music
Backstreet
question.
Boys. No, wait, probably NSYNC actually. Yeah.
Why did you
NSYNC,
change your answer then? Why NSYNC over the Backstreet Boys?
Because I think the Backstreet Boys have some great songs, obviously. Max Martin.
Okay.
But I
But
think
they're already perfect. And
yeah, I think in terms
that's
of
sacrilege.
I think in terms of
I
technical
mean, how can you
ability,
choose between the two?
I think in terms of technical ability, Timberlake was always better, and I think Andy probably has that technical ability in his back pocket and would like to display it and prove his supremacy.
You've got to think about their stage shows as well, though, haven't you? I mean, it's about being part of the show, isn't it?
Yeah, and you'd be doing all the cool dance moves as well. NSYNC had better dance moves than Backstreet Boys.
That's a good point. There's the element of the question that is about a performance. It's not just about recording with the band or being associated with the band. It's actually doing a live show. So you'd want someone who puts on a good live show.
Jane, any thoughts?
Can I hear the wording of the question again? And
Oh,
I
no,
was listening, but I just
Because, and then,
Because
let me
I
finish,
wasn't
I was not listening.
no. I think the wording might be important to the way Andy responded.
Oh no, a famous band's lead singer has called in sick, and they need a replacement quick. Who would you most like to fill in for on stage?
Okay. So I wonder if that means if it's an emergency, it needs to be someone that Andy could fill in for at short notice. So it's someone. It's
Someone
gotta
who
be
already
obviously
has
an
Andy on
act.
speed dial, is that what you're saying?
No. It needs, or at the very least, it needs to be an act that Andy is familiar with the entire works of. But I
The
guess that's a
oeuvre
given.
of, yeah.
The oeuvre of, yes. But then that's obviously the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC or many other bands.
Let me
I mean,
ask you
there
this,
are-
Jane.
Yes.
What bands or musical groups does Andy like?
Oh, so many because he likes music.
That's the,
Idiot.
the
Like one
hateful
of
sounds,
those. Yeah.
idiot sounds,
Clown.
Why must they dance? Yeah.
the clapping cattle, lapping it up.
Not
the
for
dissonance.
me. Tried it once. Yeah. Andy does some spectacular karaoke that is Backstreet Boys based. I think Backstreet Boys. If Mike's going NSYNC, I'm going Backstreet Boys. There are cooler bands, but I just think that would be a boring answer, and I think Andy's above giving like a cool band for an answer.
Okay.
Also, I don't know what
Those-
cool bands are, so I don't know what Andy would have said. Like, what
I'm gonna
are
be
the
the-
kids listening to now?
I'm gonna be the flute-
Cool bands
flute
are the
player.
Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, Jane.
Scrutineers.
I'm going to be the flute player for Lizzo.
Oh, that's
I'm
a
gonna
good answer.
fill in for
yeah.
her.
Lizzo's got you on speed dial, and she's like, "There's no one to play flute for me, Andy. You must come."
Not
to
a lead singer, but
stage."
okay.
I injured my lips, so I need you to come in and play the flute.
I got them
be
stuck
like-
to a ski lift.
Sure.
In Dumb and Dumber.
Andy, come quick.
Yeah, Backstreet Boys. I reckon Backstreet Boys.
Okay, Jane is going Backstreet Boys. Mike
Yep.
is going
NSYNC. Yeah.
NSYNC. All right, I'm locking those in. I'm going to read Andy's answer to this. I'm going to let Andy's answer speak for itself. I think there's a correct answer to this question, and I think it's probably a boy band during the early 2000s. Like
no.
an insanely overproduced boy band, like NSYNC during the No Strings Attached tour, where they were on the puppet strings and had the whole choreography routine. Or a huge Backstreet Boys tour that cost $200 million and had animatronic robots and spaceships.
But that means it's not the answer.
And you're just in the middle of all that doing the robots and the Running Man. That's fun. And that's the end of Andy's answer. So I am going to give you both a point.
Yeah!
Oh my God.
Oh, I mean, that's
You know
not
what?
the best outcome for me, but...
You know
Can I have a
what?
half because NSYNC was mentioned first?
You know what? I'm
No.
going to give you both 1.5 points because,
Yay!
like,
Whoa. Explain yourself.
you know what? I'm going to give Mike 1.5 points
Why?
Oh.
because he said Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and those are the first 10 seconds of his answer. It was,
Yes.
and that's and
Yes.
those are the two ones that you said. And because Andy didn't actually land on a exact preference between those two, I really feel like his friendship needs rewarding.
caught- yeah,
but Jane,
I
I am
caught-
going to give you a point.
You better.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
I thought you were winding up for a completely different answer. You're like, well...
Yeah, I
there
thought.
are
I was like, oh wow, we got
virtues
this horribly
to
wrong.
this answer and this answer. But of course, what I am
No.
actually going to say is the Beastie Boys or something cool.
You should
Well,
be.
see,
You should.
they
you should
don't
both
sing,
be pleased with
they
pleased
shout.
with those answers. I think that was a difficult one to adjudicate, but you both clearly knew Andy very well.
Enough karaoke sessions to.
I think it'd be really fun to like. I'm not a very good dancer, but I see people like doing cool choreographed dancing, and I think there's probably a point when you're doing that where you reach that sort of flow state where you're just like
you're actually enjoying
the
yourself
mu-
rather
yeah.
than concentrating on
the
what
music is working through you, and I imagine
Yeah.
that is like
I think in these
transcendentally
times,
cool.
if you're not going to travel back in time to be a member of Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, what you're really looking at in these modern times is BTS. Because have you seen that choreography?
yeah,
It's true.
yeah,
It's just impeccable. Spellbinding.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
make me a Korean teenager, and I'll join up.
We all want to be Korean teenagers, and
Yeah, it's true.
there's just no way.
Before we move on from this question,
Yes.
I am interested to know, Jane and Mike, what would your answers be?
Almost exactly the same, I think, probably. Yeah.
I hate all music.
Jane, as we've established,
That's why I'm
Holds
so
all
interested to know your
musicians in
response, Jane,
contempt.
because you've got it.
I
You're getting
don't
up on
hate
stage.
all music.
not
Jane
gonna like it,
will
but
be
you're
like
getting
Leonard
up on
Cohen
stage.
or something. He'll be like,
Leonard Cohen is great.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
that's her on their stage. That's the or some kind of like
I'm imagining Jane with a baritone voice, and that's quite the
Yeah.
thing.
maybe as a member of NWA coming out with Straight Outta Compton.
Me? I don't know. I think I'd be a solo performer. I'd have, but and then you
Yeah, I
can't
wouldn't want a
you can't
band
replace
dragging
them.
you down.
Yeah,
All right,
right,
how about this?
exactly. What?
You replace Adam Lambert as the Freddie Mercury in Queen nowadays.
That would be fun, probably.
I think
That's
Adam Lambert
pretty
does
good.
a pretty
Because the
good
fans
job,
already
though.
set
Oh
up
yeah,
for
but he's
someone
called in
who's not
sick.
as
He's
good.
not.
Yeah.
The premise is that he can't
I
do
think
it because
I would
he's
be
sick.
bottled off stage if I strode in and said, Adam Lambert is unwell, Jane is here.
Please
Adam
welcome
Lambert's
Jane
dead.
Douglas.
They're already used to someone who isn't Freddie
else?
Mercury.
Adam
being
Lambert
in
is
front of
dead, and I
them.
killed him. Here's Bohemian Rhapsody.
They're primed for disappointment.
Oh,
think-
yeah.
I think if you fill in, for example, say Alanis Morissette.
I thought you were
everyone
going
at
to
that
say, if you fill in,
concert is
for
there-
example, the artist example.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry. If you filled in EG for Alanis Morissette, everyone at that show is there to see Alanis Morissette, and if
Yeah,
you're
it's true.
filling in for them, no one's going to have a good time except
Yeah, that
maybe
is
you.
true. That is true.
So I
But
think
Jane
go-
does know all of the words to all of the lyrics on Jagged Little Pill, so...
I mean, I think that's the
Correct.
very least people would expect of the
I know
Alanis
the words. I'm ready,
understudy.
coach. Put me in. I listen to the.
That's all it takes, right? You just need to know the words. That's how it works.
It's tricky. I'm listening to a lot of like sort of singer-songwriter types at the moment, so I think it would be weird and odd to be like, I'm going to stand in for.
You don't have to
Janelle
write the songs
Monáe
as
or
well,
something
Jane. You
like
just have
that.
to sing
That's
them.
why it would be so perfect to be in like NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys because you'd just be like there doing the dun, 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 dun,
That's true.
and you know if Joey Fatone can do it,
Yeah.
I probably can. If Chris Kirkpatrick can do it,
That's the rule that Andy's lived his life by.
if Joey Fatone can do it, why not Andy?
It's a fair point.
I
There you
don't
go.
know. Probably BTS, I guess.
Yeah, just join up.
BTS, great
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
I could be the oldest, clumsiest member of BTS.
Okay.
Be really sad. It'd be like, who let grandma
Crashing
on
into the
stage?
speaker stacks,
Yeah.
falling into the orchestra pit.
It's very loud.
Can we turn it down a
loud?
bit?
Can we have it
You
down a
all
bit?
should be wearing earplugs. I'm coming
Yeah.
out with some now.
But with your newly found powers of teleportation and the Korean language,
Yeah.
imagine like they're all like rapping and dancing, and you're teleporting around the stage shouting in Korean. It'd be a good, positive addition to the
I love
lineup.
if you made this a compound thing.
Yeah.
I could be their sort of junket translator, you know, when they go around the world and do interviews.
That's a real
I-
downgrade from lead singer.
Yeah, I just want to be near their magic.
Get the rub from BTS.
Bask in their reflected glory.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So
Jane,
what are the scores, Luke? For
So-
God's sake, man, why are you hiding them from us?
the scores are: Jane has 2 points. Andy has 2.5 points. Mike has 3.5 points.
Because
Now
of
here's the
your
now here's the
outrageous
thing.
overscoring.
Because I am a cruel,
Capricious.
and capricious adjudicator. Looking at the scores as they are now and knowing what's happening next, I'm going to remove Mike's half point,
Oh my god.
What?
and I don't even care.
Unbelievable.
On what
so-
grounds, sir?
We'll all know who the moral victor is, though.
On the grounds that I want things to be able to change going into this next round. I don't want Mike to have an unbeatable lead.
Unassailable advantage.
Agent
Well,
Because there's only a
Chaos.
point for grabs.
Okay.
Up in
It's true.
what's about to happen next. So
Okay.
now
for the good
Okay.
of the game, I will sacrifice my half point. Not
It's
that I had
a-
a choice. You took it away
no,
from me.
you didn't. You didn't have a choice, Mike. You could protest all you like. I've changed it in the Google Doc that I'm looking at now, so that is gospel. Jane has 2 points. Andy has 2.5 points. Mike has 3 points. So Mike is still in the lead. But now things could change. Because I want it to be spicy. And I'm not going to apologise for that.
Yes.
So, in this final round, you were all asked the same question. And it is up to you to figure out how the others responded to it. So we'll
Oh
start
gosh.
with Mike.
Okay.
Okay.
Mike was asked, and Jane and Andy, this question will be familiar to you because you were asked it as well. A car with you and the other two is racing towards a cliff edge. What do you do?
Such drama.
What do you think Mike said?
Imagine if we had the CG budget to mock up what that would look like.
And here's what I
Okay.
imagine that would look like.
Yeah.
And then we
So-
cut to like a fabulous Hollywood
Yeah.
production of us
a
Or
filming
like a
helicopter.
papier-mâché cliff and then a
Yeah.
toy car. Stop
on the
motion.
fishing line, and
towards
you
the-
can
yeah.
see the fishing line. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say that Mike he knows the correct way to drive a car to not go off a cliff, and it'll be some kind of cool drift where he will bring the car around in what's possibly known as a J-turn. But he'll pull it around and it'll like kick out the back end, and he'll steer into or away from the drift, depending on which is the correct way. And he will like very excitingly drift it so close to the edge that it goes into slow motion, and everyone's like,
Faces
vroom,
wobbly.
and then he'll zoom off in the direction of safety, and
I
he'll
wanna see
save
that.
saved
That
us
sounds
all
cool.
with some extremely cool and technically proficient.
That
driving.
does sound amazing. That does
That's
sound amazing.
certainly one move available to Mike.
Okay.
Jane.
Okay. So the wording is like, it's not clear who's driving. It's like the car is racing towards a cliff. You're all in it. And what happens next? What would Mike say?
That's
I think he might have done some. I think he might have done some lateral thinking and just been like, I apply the brakes. Who's to say the brakes aren't good enough, right?
It's true.
Interesting.
It doesn't say
Although
how
I
far away from the
suppose-
cliff we are.
Yeah, the question does presuppose and imply that it is sort of, life or death. Not like you're racing in a way that could be arrested with a firm foot on the brake.
but does Mike play by those kinds of rules?
Yeah, he might be playing with the meta and like I
How-
simply depress the brake pedal
You've
of
got to
my
also consider
automobile vehicle.
that this is Mike's mind's eye version of himself, and how Vin Diesel-y is Mike in his own mind.
I mean, hugely, obviously.
Yeah.
Externally, not very Vin Diesel at all.
We're all the Vin Diesels of our own stories.
I torpedo headbutt a terrorist.
Unrelated to the racing car.
I pull out Haxon Bane and smite some witches or something.
I ramp off MMA superstar Ronda Rousey.
And then I am
And then
the pacifier from the movie.
roll.
The
Yeah,
Pacifier.
yeah.
I do the entire IMDb of Vin Diesel. What if Mike just dies from the vehicle? No, he wouldn't do that.
What, leaves you guys off the cliff?
Well, I mean, we're all responsible adults.
That's
We might
damning.
be
You
expected
have seen how I treat my horses.
You
That's-
all got in the
Yeah.
car.
Yeah, we're
Willingly.
responsible
made
adults.
it.
Let the record show you all got in the car.
No, I reckon it'd be something to do with the car.
Although the question doesn't specify you're in the car willingly, so
Oh no.
One of you has
Mike
kidnapped
kidnaps
the other two.
the other
And
two.
they're in the trunk.
you're in the,
And-
the other, yeah, you're both in the trunk, and Mike is speeding towards a cliff.
I think I like Andy's answer, but in order for it to be a different answer, I think Mike's sort of playing with the question and being like, I simply apply the brakes, as is the responsible
easy.
thing to do. Yeah.
It's easy.
Without wishing to steer any witnesses, I will just again point out, this is more for the chat now, that you don't have to choose different answers. But obviously, if you would like to, you can. So are we
Okay,
locking in
I
those?
go with Andy then. I'm good. If we don't have to choose different answers, I think Andy had it in like
Which
a cool
you do
cool
not.
maneuver that kind of like swings the back end of the car out over the edge of the cliff and leaves us for a little while. We're like teetering on the end of the cliff, and then we all sort of like climb into the front seat
Yep.
to make
And
the
then-
car kind
Like
of
the
like
Italian
balance.
job.
Yeah. And then we all climb out one of the front driver's side windows.
Yeah, and then Get
And then
Low
the
by
cli-
DJ Snake and Dylan Francis starts playing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then the car falls off the cliff
And explodes? Or not
and explodes at the bottom.
And explodes, of course,
Well, here is what
killing several horses.
it
Yes!
plows into Donkey. It slices him off at
The
the
low
end.
self-esteem horse.
Yeah. He'd gone down there to cry.
Okay.
And I'm making
Here's
sure
what Mike-
Donkey's in the car as well.
All your enemies.
Donkey didn't make it.
Donkey was dead before he got in the car.
I shut the door on Donkey as the car goes
You're all
off the
helping
cliff.
Mike dispose of Donkey.
No, donkey.
That's what this is. Okay, here's what Mike wrote.
Okay.
If I'm driving, which I assume I am, because why wouldn't I be, I'd simply turn the steering wheel, dump the clutch, rip the handbrake, and then boot the throttle, performing an expert Tokyo drift along the very edge of the precipice, launching dust and gravel into the void. Then I'd
Word
probably carry on
for
celebrating.
Word.
For so long that I'd actually accidentally drive off the other side of the mountain.
Alright.
That was Andy. You described it so thematically. You were so there that I'm giving you a point. Absolutely, Jane. I'm going to give you a point as well.
Thank you.
Which, interestingly, Jane puts you on 3 points, which is what Mike has now.
Correct.
And Andy has 3.5, presumably.
Andy has 3.5. Yeah, he does.
Could have really done with that extra half point, Luke.
Yeah.
saying.
Well,
Well, too bad. I
Here's
should get
what
an
I
extra half point for how accurate I was.
you can go sing for it.
Everybody! Yeah!
Bonus round. Karaoke round.
Yeah, we'll settle this in the
In the karaoke
The
dome.
white hot crucible.
The White Hot Crucible of the karaoke day. Yeah, I'm tempted to give Jane half a point because she specified the car going off the edge at the end, which Mike did. But he only said
And she also said the whole thing after I'd said it already.
I'm not going to give half a point. Good. For reasons that I don't have to explain.
Jane will
I
remember.
feel like I should have lied more in these questions. I shouldn't have listened to my dad, the King of Sweden.
So ruddy, bloody, honest and brave. That's
Yeah, I
Mike's
know.
problem.
That's the problem.
He said,
Really
"Son,
honest and
you
brave."
must always tell the truth, like
He
me,
was-
the King of
he was-
Sweden."
And
Also, you're
yeah.
exiled.
And other son, you must always lie. And the two of you have to guard this door.
Livia. Livia fight to death. But Mike was too good and pure for the rat's nest that is outside Xbox.
This den of vipers.
Yeah.
Okay, next up. Jane was asked the same question. Andy and
Yes.
Mike, what do you think Jane said? Again, here's the question. A car with you and the other two is racing towards a cliff edge. What do you do?
I think it's the Thelma and Louise thing, and I think all three of us would put our hands on the gear stick and shift up a gear and launch off the cliff and
Yeah.
die in a blaze of glory.
I agree. I think that's what Jane said. My first thought was going to be that Jane would throw herself from the car and roll and let us go over, but with the justification that she feels like she could help more from outside the car.
She could run for help to
Yeah.
recover the bodies.
I
Yeah.
really need an overview on the situation from outside of the
Yeah.
car.
Yeah, but I know that Jane respects the decision that the titular heroines make at the end of Thelma and Louise. So I feel like that would be, she would feel like that was a fitting way to end the channel after 8 years, was for us to ramp a car into a gorge.
Our final
Think of the
video.
views, Andy. Think of the views.
The views
Yeah.
from the top of the gorge.
Yeah.
And we're
That's
like
amazing views.
Spike.
Yeah, like Spike
Your
for
last
ramping
words.
into a canyon.
We'll chisel it into your
Put it on my headstone,
gravestone,
yeah.
Like Spike.
I
Like
think
Spike.
Thelma and Louising it.
Of course, in the end, it was the
And-
like Spike that killed her.
And the freeze frame is on the Cadillac. We haven't said it's Cadillac, but it's Cadillac. And the number plate says LKESPK. That's
Yeah.
the number plate. And it's
Oh,
freeze
okay,
frame
yeah,
and
got
it
Yeah.
zooms in on that.
Cool.
Andy played by Gina Davis.
And Susan Sarandon.
And
Yeah.
Susan Sarandon.
Both.
In a tour de force from both. They're in one long coat.
Andy, you are not the height of the combined height of those two.
Yes, I am.
Luke, it's not the
quite
combined
tall,
height. They're not
Gina Davis.
standing on top of each other's shoulders.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
sorry.
They're
Gina
just
Davis
in-
is sitting on top of Susan Sarandon, so it's only a height and a half.
It's 1.5 Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Of course, it's hard to tell on the YouTube channel that Andy is 9 feet tall.
It's not about the height, Luke. It's about the presence.
Of course.
And he's got tall person energy.
He does. Okay, so if you could just in a sentence sum up what you think Jane said, Andy and Mike.
Like
Thelma
I
and Louise.
said, all hands, like 3 hands on the gear stick, shift
Yeah.
forward, accelerate off the cliff.
And hope that there's something soft at the bottom, like a horse.
Like
Or she would use her newfound power of teleportation
Oh
to
my
grab
God.
both of us and teleport out of there.
to Mercury.
the
so we
Cayman
die
Islands.
in a real blaze of glory.
That'd be such a dick move.
You know
Oh
what?
no, we're safe. Oh no, we're in Mercury.
She's saving the world from a greater evil.
Outside Xbox.
Yeah.
Well, I love that answer. I only wish that Jane had gone for something so romantic.
Oh.
But here is what Jane wrote. And I suppose it has a certain romance in its own way. Jane wrote, using logic and deduction, if we're all in a car together, Mike is driving. If that car is racing towards a cliff edge, it's because Mike is going to jump a canyon in a Fast and Furious-like maneuver. He is
True.
probably hoping to catch the car bumper on a hook attached to a nearby grapple point and then swing the car like a Spider-Man.
Like in Hobbs and Shaw.
So Jane's
true.
answer is, put my arms up, roller coaster style, hope for the best. Which,
I mean, there is an element of that in our answer.
there is an element of it, but I would say that actually that strikes me as the thematically opposite answer, which, because what's Jane
Why is Mike
saying
driving?
is-
What's wrong with my driving?
Jane's...
Nothing.
Well, do you want to answer that, Jane? What's wrong with Andy's driving?
I just feel like if we'd all gotten in a car together, Mike would have.
But what
Shotgun
specifically is
it.
wrong with it? What does he do when he's driving
I
that
mean,
you can't
what's
stand?
not- what's right with it, honestly? He drives too slow. He drives too slow.
Yeah, you need to really get the velocity off the ramp to catch the hook.
If you're gonna jump a
That's the-
canyon,
yeah.
you can't drive like an Andy. You gotta drive like a Mike.
I'm disliking this stream.
Dislike Spike from Andy. Single person dislike Spike.
Done it.
Okay, well, I would love to give some points or half points for that, but I just don't think I can, because what Mike and Andy said was explode in a blaze of glory, and Jane is very much counting on surviving,
Survival, yeah, that's
albeit
true.
with something cool. So, no points
I think that's
there,
a
I'm
very
afraid.
fair ruling, because although technically I do say stay in the car, thematically it's not about the Thelma and Louise ending. It's
No.
It's about the Fast and
It's about
Furious.
the Hobbs and Shaw ending, yeah.
Magnet plane fly away on the underside of a stealth bomber with like magnets under it. Yeah.
That is right. Although I would just want to clarify that my ruling wouldn't have to be fair to be final. Okay, so going
Fine.
into
Yes.
the final part of this quiz,
Woo.
which is Mike and Jane's response to Andy's answer. Jane is on 3, Mike is on 3, and Andy is on 3.5.
Ill-gotten
means-
gains.
Which means that Mike or Jane, if one of you is able to get this right and the other get it wrong, you'll take home the whole thing.
Or if we collaborate,
This is for
we
all
can
the marbles.
both beat Andy.
That's right. you
Yeah, so
can
we'll be
collaborate.
standing
Not
on
to,
the
not
top
to drive
part
a
of the
wedge,
podium.
but if we,
Yeah.
if we really work
But-
through it
And then
together.
Andy will be on the shameful second bit of the podium.
However, it's a risky maneuver
Okay.
because if you
Like
collaborate and get it
Driving
wrong,
into a canyon.
you'll propel Andy to the top of the podium.
Yeah, but there's going to be one best answer out of the two of
He'll
us, isn't
be
there? So-
lording it over us from the top of the
Yeah,
podium.
it's
I'll
true.
be the best friend.
Yeah. He'll win at friendship.
Yeah.
We're about to find out who is
Crush you.
the best friend and who is a garbage friend.
Okay.
Who
Andy
could
was
be
asked.
friends with a horse.
Andy was asked, a car with you and the other two is racing towards a cliff edge. What do you do?
I'm wondering about a kind of like, based on like our GTA style adventures, whether we'd all have parachutes packed and we'd launch the car off the cliff and then dramatically parachute to safety like we have done in our heists in GTA. I wonder whether that's the kind of solid friendship reaffirming moment. And probably what would happen is that Jane and Andy would parachute to safety and I would clip a rock and like fall all the way down the hill.
Or I would do that thing that I once did in our Grand Theft Auto heist where I bail out of something and then get hit by that same vehicle on the way
Hit
down.
the car on the way
and
down.
Somehow
Yeah.
manage to roadkill myself.
Well, maybe
in
that's
midair.
what happens. Maybe Jane gets hit by the car, I slam into a rock and cartwheel down a mountain,
Aw.
and Andy parachutes to safety.
Yeah, that would be quite on brand.
It seems like a
I
like a
could
safe
catch
bet.
both of you, one under each arm.
Yeah, and just
Aww,
parachute us to
like
safety.
two rugby
The
balls.
parachute's only
Yeah.
calibrated for 2 people's weight. Andy,
Oh,
who
and then
you
we all
let
Oh,
die.
no.
Yeah.
That is a separate question, Luke. The part of the original question.
That would also
Mike.
be on brand.
That's my
Um,
guess. That's my guess.
Okay. I wonder if we should, spread the bets, do a bit of spread betting. Because
go.
if one of
If
us
our
wins,
goal is for Andy to definitely lose, then yeah, we
Yeah.
should do that.
then one of us needs to win.
can't stand the idea. I just love this from Jane's point of view. It's like, what does it matter if Mike or Andy wins?
Someone
Barrett.
has to stop Andy.
Apparently it matters.
Okay. Right,
Jane.
I'm gonna let me
Let's hear
use
some
my.
thinking.
Okay, all right. Deduction and logic says.
Andy, look into the webcam so that
Okay,
Jane
yeah.
can
Look into it.
scry
I want to
your
avoid
soul.
comf test your. Okay, Android eyes. Okay, all right. I suspect Andy imagines that he's driving because he said, why do you think Mike is driving? For my answer. So, Andy's driving the car, and
Jamming
Tip
out
you-
to some Backstreet Boys.
yeah. Andy leans over in his
Eating some
final
tuna
moments.
sashimi.
And changes the CD changer in the trunk to Backstreet Boys' seminal album.
The best of Backstreet Boys.
Best of
Backstreet
Backstreet
Boys.
Boys. Yeah, it is their best album.
Okay.
Come on now, everybody. We gotta go in on. Oh my god, a canyon!
Okay. What would you do, Andy? What would Andy do? Oh, it's tough. It's really tough.
I don't know what Luke's listening to, but it looks good.
I'm vibing out to the sweet beats of Discord.
ruined friendships.
I
Ruined
wonder
friendships.
if it's
Sounds good to me.
something somewhat aligned with my answer. Because we sometimes think somewhat alike, and he's like, I would ramp it and do a flip or something. Ever the showman. Or what's Andy into at the moment? How would he incorporate
The
his current
Backstreet Boys.
No, at the moment, not forever, Andy. Not for all eternity. What's your current fad? And you would somehow incorporate your current fad.
The current thing I'm obsessed with is
Yeah.
the Simpsons episode New Kids on the Blech, when Bart is in a boy band, and the way that Justin Timberlake says "word."
Right.
Okay.
That's
All right,
the
now
thing
let
that's
me
informed his answer to a
meticulously-
previous
Let
one.
me meticulously reconstruct, and if you can wait 23 minutes, I'm going to replay that episode of The Simpsons in my
On
mind.
an illegal streaming site.
No, in my mind.
Okay.
And then I'll come back to you with the answer. No, that episode is that's that episode where Bart becomes a member of a boy band, and then
Yeah.
it turns out it's
a recruiting
subliminal
tool
brainwashing for the Navy.
The Navy, yeah.
Okay.
Ivan et Niage.
Okay. Well then, by deduction and logic, starting from a position of that episode of The Simpsons, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Where are you going with that, Jane?
How am I going with it?
Can't you see how your love's affecting reality?
I don't think he was thinking about Backstreet Boys at the time, because I think he's just thinking
No.
about Backstreet Boys
I'm
now.
just thinking about Backstreet Boys.
because it's come up again.
Word.
I think he ramps it because we did. It's not like we consulted each other on our answers, so he might have an answer that resembles my answer, which is ramp it.
Okay.
Ramp it.
Okay, I'm going to lock those answers in. So,
Yeah.
Jane, you're going for? Say it
Ramp
again.
it. Ramp it.
Mike,
I'm saying
answer
we
is-
we launch off the cliff and all
Parachutes.
parachute, mostly to safety, but probably not me.
Mike's going parachutes. Jane's going ramp.
Ramp it.
Okay, let me remind you of the scores.
Andy's famous catchphrase.
Gotta ramp it.
Gotta ramp it.
Jane is on 3 points. Mike is on
Yeah.
3 points. Andy's on 3.5 points. If neither Jane nor Mike got this right, then Andy wins.
Oh my god.
If Mike got it right and Jane didn't, and they
Okay.
have given different answers, so that's going to be the outcome.
Mmm.
Then, well, if Jane gets it, Jane would win. If Mike gets it, Mike would win.
If no
I
one
couldn't
gets
be
it, Andy
happier
wins.
with the way this has fallen out. On the one hand, there's Mike. Sweet Mike.
I love how you're stringing this out.
Sweet,
Sweet
tender
Mike.
Mike.
I
Wouldn't harm a
look at
fly
him,
unless it was a horse fly.
I remember when I could hold him in my hand. He was
You got one of those teacup mics. He
yeah,
grew
I
bigger,
thought
didn't
I
he?
was buying a
Bonsai
teacup
Mike.
mic, but it turned out to be a regular mic.
Full size Mike.
And I tried to flush him down the toilet, but
He came back up
Just grow huge in the sewers. That's what happens.
when you least expected it.
when I least expected it, he came back up the sewer. I look at him, and it's hard to reconcile now the man saying parachutes with that sweet Mike baby.
Yeah.
Then you've got Jane. Oh, Jane.
Oh, Jane.
Where to begin? The times we've had. The laughs we've shared. And now, it seems as if fundamentally something has changed, and she's standing in front of me and she's saying, Luke, ramps
Ramp it.
is the answer. Well, now, it gives me no pleasure to
Nice.
turn to Andy's answer. I will now read it verbatim. And to remind you, Andy was asked. A car with you and the other two is racing towards a cliff edge. What do you do? And Andy wrote, we've got to try and ramp it.
Yeah!
Speed up, then throw something large and angled in front of us to give us the boost we need to make it across to the other side. I'm assuming there's another side. Jane gets a
my
point.
God.
Mike
Yeah.
gets nothing. Jane is the winner of the friendship competition.
Mike gets
with an
nothing.
incredible 4 points.
Suck it,
So
friends.
the angle thing that we're throwing in front of the car is Mike, because
What?
he's like.
Oh,
because
come on.
You didn't get it
You're
right,
not gonna
Mike.
get any. You're not gonna get any height
Unfortunately.
over my.
Yeah, Mike's
weedy
not
form.
sufficiently wedge
You're gonna need to
shaped.
angle yourself, Mike.
I'm more of a
Angle.
speed bump than a ramp.
Yeah, ramp
Well,
it.
well done, Jane.
Jane
You're the
did
best.
have it for the first few rounds, but absolutely
best friend.
stormed back. Jane is the best friend. She knows Mike and Andy inside out, and they
Yes.
hate her and don't know her at all.
Yes.
Mike and
Yeah.
I are
The
enemies
best at
now.
Friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I guess we're Jane's enemy, maybe.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
how it
Yeah.
works. That's
Yeah.
the friendship ruining
Yeah,
promise.
the triangle
That's
of
the
enemies.
beauty of
I guess the only
friendship
choice you
ruining
all
test.
have is to be best friends with me. Individually.
Oh, I see your game, Westaway.
Yes, all the
What
What
pieces
would
are
you
falling
do in a
into
speeding
place.
car?
Luke will never betray
Now
us.
who will come to my birthday party?
The last jigsaw piece is placed, And the camera pans out to reveal the jigsaw. It's my face, the true winner of the friendship competition.
Winking at the camera.
Winking at the
Oh,
camera.
you played
The
it
music
so
from-
well.
The music from the end of Saw starts playing. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun,
It's
dun,
not clear
dun,
how
dun.
this wasn't visible until the last piece went in.
Luke rides off on a tiny tricycle.
With 3 new friends in tow.
Yay!
Well, there you go.
Oh.
There's your competition, folks.
There's your
Good
friendship
friendship
test.
test. Good friendship test.
It's been determined that Jane is the best friend. Well done, Jane. How do you feel?
That was real.
Have you got any words for your fans out there?
I'm going to Disneyland, except I can't because I have no teleportation powers.
No.
And because stay at home,
You don't-
everyone.
You don't
and
speak
wear masks.
Donald Duck.
Disney. You don't
And
speak
I don't
Disney.
speak Donald Duck. I don't have those skills yet.
Just angry
Yeah.
quacking.
That's the language I'd learn.
Angry
Angry
quacking.
quacking.
Learn to understand Donald Duck.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well,
to
I
listen
am.
to him.
I'm very proud to have renewed our friendship in the white hot crucible of the Outside Xbox.
the friendship test.
Brought to
Yeah.
you by Luke Westaway.
Yeah. Brought to you by that one weird burger I ate that one time.
Sponsored by.
Hey,
that
if they
one
want to
weird
sponsor me
burger.
and feed me that burger over and
If
over
anyone
again,
has
I'll
stunt
take it.
foods that they would like
Yeah.
to be sponsored by,
Yeah. The Outside Xbox
Yeah.
Friendship Test brought to you by the great taste of anchovies.
Oh no.
The anchovy
Why not enjoy a
Council.
can of anchovies today?
yeah.
Brought to you by Fisherman John's kilo
Fresh,
tub of anchovies.
salty anchovies. Keep the kilo tub of anchovies. It's
So we've
too
each got a
much
kilo tub here.
anchovies. All right, thank you so much for watching this friendship test, everyone. We've
Yes.
got a lot to think about. But we will see you again very soon on Outside Xbox. What have we got coming up the rest of this week, guys? Videos?
Got a feature tomorrow about zombies.
Tomorrow.
Oh, sad, sad
Zombies
zombies.
happening.
Yep.
And some video on Friday.
Yep. Luke, do you want to plug your pluggables on Oxtra? What do you got?
Plug it in.
No, I don't. Because I don't know what we're doing, honestly. We haven't sorted
Alright.
out the schedule for
Cool.
tomorrow yet.
Sounds
It's too
good.
That's
loosey-goosey.
exciting.
That's a
But
good
there'll
time.
be
So you can
something.
check that out, friends.
Check out something. Come
And
back.
we will see you again very soon, friends. You're real friends. We can trust you guys.
The real friendship
This viper's nest.
was the treasure we made along the way.